Are we live?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. There we go. There we go. Let's go.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another call-in stream, the show where we have you guys join our Discord's voice channel and basically talk to us. Spit your hottest One Piece theories, questions. You can ask us anything, and we're here to answer, or listen, or let you get yours off. If you want to rant, kind of whatever you want to do with your time. But yes, it's another episode. I'm here with my friend Larry. This should be a whole lot of fun. I know we weren't able to get to calls last week, but here we are again. Sorry about that. If you guys want to join, oh, I see botched audio in the chat. I don't know.
Botched audio.
Is the audio good? Is audio good? How's it sound, everybody? Let me know
Let
if we're
me
sounding off.
let me check online just to make sure.
Mhm.
You never know. They be lying.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Don't be saying botched audio if it's not botched, Eclipse. How we sound? How we sound? How we sound? Sounds good to me.
It sounds good
So
to me.
yeah, Seb sounds kind of off.
No, he doesn't sound off. The audio is normal. I think they just do that now, just because like we always are off.
Play me like that, man. Don't play me like that, man. Don't do that to me, bro. Y'all got me worried out here. What's the sound like? Sound good? Sounds a bit muffled. One sec. It's all Eclipse saying it though. Eclipse is the only one saying that. So maybe it's something off of Eclipse.
Eclipse got
Maybe.
crazy Wi-Fi.
Both are great. Okay. Maybe my speakers. Okay. Yeah, Eclipse, man. Don't scare me like that. But hello everyone. As you guys know, we like to get these call-in streams on a Tuesday or Thursday. There's probably going to be Thursdays going forward. I mean Tuesdays going forward, just because of scheduling. So you guys get more topped more consistently. But in
Yeah.
general, we started doing this so we can get to calls more often. We struggled to get the calls pretty consistently on the Monday streams, so we wanted to do a show dedicated specifically to taking you guys' phone calls and hearing what you guys got to say. We love engaging with you guys in the community. As you guys know, in order to have a guaranteed spot in these call-in streams, you have to be a server tiered Discord member, essentially a warlord or above, and that will allow you to have access to our voice channel, the VC that does specifically calls. So if you guys have access, it'll be the call only stream entrance. For those of you that want to be able to join but can't join monthly on the tiered system, join the call waiting room. But for everybody that has access, join the call only stream entrance. Those are the people that get in first. So I see a couple people in here already. See if there's anybody who's already. Yeah, there we go. Juice
Yeah,
is
guys.
here.
Also, I just lowered my volume just in case. Just a heads up, we are streaming on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch right now. So hello to all three platforms. Uh, if you do not want to have uh, ads, I would suggest going to Twitch and using your Amazon Prime membership to subscribe, and you won't have any ads there. But overall, for YouTube, uh, welcome. That's just like reminders to let everybody know that we're multi-streaming right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. Join us on any one of our platforms. We really appreciate it. I see a bunch of people in here,
Oh,
so really
Seb,
grateful for everybody being here. Yeah.
Dumb Society said, do you get access if you're a YouTube member?
No, you do not. Unfortunately, the YouTube memberships will give you access to any of the private streams that Larry does. So Larry does like live reactions. He give you access to emojis and things on the YouTube. And sometimes we post those live reaction streams. You'd be able to have early access to that. And we're probably going to try to do a little bit more YouTube specific stuff for the YouTube Nakama members. But in general, no, has to be separated, just how we kind of parse it out with the roles on Discord. So if you want to have guaranteed access to these call-in streams, you'll have to become a tiered member on the Discord of either Warlord or higher. So Warlord or Yonko will give you access. So I hope you guys understand that. It's just how we kind of have to parse it out in order to identify who's who and what's what. But yeah, I see a bunch of people in the chat, so I want to shout everybody out before we start getting into it. I see ZZ Optimal, Left Lane John Wayne, Masked Man, Left Don Pablo VP, Millie, Roy Stokes, Nerd, NYC Anime Nerd, what up? Eclipse, JK, Shadow, Mick D. Arnold, Reaper. Just so many on here. We really appreciate everybody being here. Please like the stream if you haven't already. And for those of you guys that haven't set up the Discord tiered memberships, please, please, please. You can also get yourself donated in. So super chats can get you guys donated in. Basically, any $5 super chat or above will count for one person being able to join. So I did see a couple super chats jump in on here already. So that can be used to either donate your own way in or to get some other people in here. So I know we get a lot of generosity on some of these streams to get more calls and get more people to be able to give their take. But if you want to donate your own way in, you can do that. But the guaranteed slots will go to the people that are the Discord tier members, and they also get first come first serve for them as well. So I hope you guys understand that. But yeah, we did get a couple super chats here, so I'll read them as well. Real quick, Larry, if you're ready.
But hold on, before we go, we have Bama King in Twitch, Insomniac Pursuit in Twitch. We have Tharson. Welcome. We have Sky Daddy Zozo, who also followed. So shout out to you guys that are on Twitch right now, enjoying yourselves.
Thank you. Yeah, so we got $10 from No One Owns. It says worst fake out death in One Piece. Oh man, I'm just as a nostalgia piece, I'm gonna go with Pell because I genuinely thought that man was gone, and I was so sad about it. I was like heartbroken, and then he came back, and it kind of just got us down a rabbit hole of some BS. I'll say that. So I'm gonna go with Pell. Pell's fake out death bothers me more than anyone else's. Don't care that he's his own. Don't care that it was early One Piece. Don't care about the 9/11 correlation theory. I don't care about none of that. When he was gone, it was beautiful. It was tragic. I felt away. And then when he was back, it all came crashing down, and I was so upset. So, yeah.
For me, I usually would say something else, but I think what really bothered me was Luffy passing away basically against Kaido.
That's not a fake out death, bro.
Yo,
that's not that.
Like,
that's
bro,
just not the heart of the question at all.
I think it was just so annoying, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what we needed in order to get the Gear 5. I need to be tossed into the ocean only to be saved by somebody in a submarine. Then I needed to be saved by my devil fruit because unfortunately it just awakens through death or something like that. I don't know, bro. It was just so bad to me at that point. I was like, just let him get beat up, bro. You ain't gotta fake his death out. It was like, yo, his heart stopped. Like, it was just annoying because we knew he wasn't gonna pass. He's the main character, so I think that's annoying more so than like Pell, because I could accept like that a little bit more. But it's like when you know this person is never capable of passing away, that's when it's like annoying because now you're just doing it for the funsies.
Mm-hmm. I put a poll up in the chat. Y'all let us know who y'all think is the worst fake out death in the series. But thank you, No One Owns. We got another 5 from Red Haired Gator. How does the concept of inherited will shape the story? And is it a strength or a flaw in One Piece's narrative? It's a really good question. You want me to go?
Yeah.
Or you got something? So the concept of inherited will can work in unique ways in One Piece, probably more unique in this series than almost any other, because we have devil fruits that seemingly pass along wills as well. That's kind of a different element than most stories will have. I think people have commented on even Sabo inheriting some of Ace's will when he ate the Mera no Mi. He kind of took on a little bit of Ace's more fiery personality and attitude. I thought that was interesting, or at least when that was kind of coming about, people were saying that. But the concept of inherited will is anybody in the D clan, basically anybody who has a found family member or connection with any person that impacted them in a strong way. Like One Piece does a really good job of flashbacks and the people who've inherited wills from their mentors or their father figures or their mother figures, whoever. So a lot of that is how inherited will works. And then to show that you can actively weaponize your will, I think inherited will works in a way that if you're fighting for more than just your own beliefs or your own cause, you tend to be stronger in One Piece, if that makes sense. So Luffy, when he fights, he's not just fighting for himself, he's fighting for everybody on his crew's dreams for them to succeed in the end, right? And I know he's not conceptualizing that in every fist that he's throwing and every punch that he's throwing in every single battle, but it is the truth of who he is. That's the truth of how Luffy fights and how he's grown, because he has the backs of everybody or the wills of everybody on his crew that he's fighting for, as well as the wills of the people that came before him, like Ace, like Roger, etc. So I think it does make people stronger. I think the second part of the question was, is it a flaw in the One Piece's narrative structure? I don't think so personally. The second you can weaponize will, I think you can kind of do a lot with that, and I don't think Oda's fumbled that so much. I think my biggest issue with Oda and utilizing this stuff is like the fight choreography more so than the emotional depth of any of the inherited will stuff. But I've been rambling. I'll pass to Larry if he has anything different.
I think it's cool. I think it's okay. I think passing of will is just somebody takes an idea and decides to continue on that idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Martin Luther King Jr., bro. Like, there's a couple people that have passed on his will in order to make the world a fairer place. Is that bad narration on life? I don't think so. For me, it's like, yeah, bro, like somebody has a dream, that dream is later passed down and it's super significant to the world, so why not? It's not bad narration. I wouldn't say that. I think it's bad narration when that person who came up with the dream just happened to never pass away, so somebody else could carry the mantle. So that's basically just reincarnation, such as like what happened with Naruto and such. That's where it becomes an issue. Like, damn, yo, Ashura's living through Hashirama. Oh, nah, now it passed to Naruto. So this dude just stayed around and just continuously influenced some of the greatest people on the show. And they were probably only great because he was attached to them.
That's unfair, in my
That's
opinion.
like, come on, bro.
That's not fair, man. People can be great and attached to people without needing to be attached, no?
It's not like a tattoo, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like this is directly influencing my greatness. So it takes away from my greatness overall because I wouldn't be as great if they weren't attached. I don't know.
Larry, we got people in the comments asking if you have pants on right now. Didn't you get up? I thought you got up.
Do I have pants on right now? I'm gonna leave you to wonder.
I swore you got up. I swore you stood up midstream and went over
If
there.
I stand up and I swing to the left, there's a lot of things that are gonna be knocked down.
Well, wasn't it darker than black?
No. No. It was DBZ Abridged.
Oh, Bridge.
Yeah.
I'm about to turn left. Something like that, man. All right. We did get another 5 from Red Eye Itachi. It says, if anyone is on the crew is going to be Dami reversied, who do you think it would be?
I'd really like to see Sanji and Zoro versus Luffy.
Like Luffy gets Dami reversed?
No. Well, not really. I probably would like to see Zoro and Sanji get Dami reversed.
Oh, both of them, the two of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Luffy have to deal with that. Okay. That's different. I haven't seen that one. That would be interesting. I don't know if I'd like it, but I'd like that better than Luffy being Dami reversed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, same. I feel the same way. Yeah.
I like that better because now, how do I say this? We had a situation where like Rocks got Dami reversed, and then like his wings or his like next 3 in command or next 3 strongest people had to go fight him for a brief time, and then we had the face off between Rocks and Roger. If we got the inverse of that, where it's like the captain has to now fight his crew that's being controlled. Like, how would Luffy deal with that? You know what I mean? I kind of like that just as a different element. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
I
know how
think
Luffy would deal with it personally.
I think Law's theory about Luffy's good heart and plus him having Nika is going to lead him to not being able to succumb to Domi Reversi. That theory went really hard. Like low
Mm-hmm.
key, the more I thought about it, the more I accepted it, and the more it made sense. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it also forces Luffy to have to spread G5 to get people out of Domi Reversi, since nobody else has the Haki that Emu has, or can cancel out his Haki in order to turn themselves back. So that's also a way for Luffy to get stronger, I guess, and
Mm-hmm.
combat Domi Reversi overall.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Yeah,
Lawrence was
maybe,
cooking.
maybe. Let's see. We did get another 3 months at Nakama status from Serenyo. It says, would Elbaf, Emu slash Gunko be stronger than Dami Reversi rocks? Um,
Yeah.
Elbaf with Emu and hold on, Elbaf, Emu. I'm trying to understand this. So like the Elbaf, Gunko, and
Yeah, it's just Emu taking over Gunko's body.
right.
I would say
I
yeah,
would
because
say
it's
I would say no then,
why?
because rocks is stronger than Gunko is.
No, so you remember when Emu possesses the person they're possessing, Emu could just come out of that person.
I'm trying to. So it's not a Dami Reversi what's happening to Gunko is what you're saying. It's just
Mm-mm.
possession.
Yeah, it's
Right.
possession. Yeah, it's the same thing that Saturn's experiencing.
But I'm still not under the impression that that's like Emu using full capabilities, though. At least that's not my thought process. You know what I'm
Emu
saying?
Emu came out of Saturn.
Yeah, and that to me that still wasn't Emu full capabilities. That's
But
just me
that
possessing and doing what I got to do in
but
that moment.
that Emu came out and used their Haki to Domi Reversi through touch rocks.
Hmm. I mean, yeah.
So if that same thing happened with Emu and Gunko,
Hmm.
Rox's strongest conquerors is still not able to overcome that Emu. It doesn't matter who the person is at that point. Emu can still just summon it
I feel like
themselves.
it's always gonna matter to
Well, it
me.
only matters if Rox is going to have Conqueror's Haki that was stronger than it was when he was fighting normally.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, if they're not the same thing, then yeah, I could see why it wouldn't matter as much. But I don't know. To me, it's like to see Gunko defeat Rocks, even in this buffed up version. I'd be like, what? I guess it doesn't make sense in that way, but that's how I feel about it when I heard it. If that makes sense.
I would just be like, it's not Gunko at the end of the day. It's still Emu.
Mhm.
I think Emu
We
would
did
have
get.
to come out of Gunko, like the way they came out of Saturn for sure.
Mhm. Okay. We did get another two from Serenyo. It says, "How strong would a Kainu be with Kaido's Devil Fruit?" A Kainu's gonna be a top tier no matter what, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. That's my
Yeah,
guy. That's how I'm gonna feel about him until
agreed.
he ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We did get another five from The Hunt. It says, "Yo, Top, I have an interesting thought process about how Choppers shows us a little about Emu's power. How can I call in? Much love." Okay, so Hunt, I don't know who you are. Actually, I think I do see you in the call waiting room. That $5 donation does get you access, so you're gonna be added to the top call-in stream link here. But essentially, yeah, you did it. So congrats. And then another two from Mr. One Rob or M1 Rob. Do we think it's possible for Frankie to get reversing? Yeah, if Rocks got reversied, and to this day we don't know what the exact parameters of a Dami reversi entail. But if Rocks can be Dami reversi, a guy like Frankie isn't gonna be immune, right? At least unless there is specific parameters that we just don't know about yet. So
Yeah.
once Rocks got hit with it, it's kind of anybody can get it now.
Sure.
But let's get our first caller in here, man.
Let's do it.
The first person I saw in here was Juice, so I'll get Juice in here first. Juice, you there? Juice.
Hello?
There he is. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
What's up, man?
Chilling, bro. Talk to me.
I just wanted to share my perspective as a fan real quick. I've been watching One Piece for like more than 10 years now, since I think like the Dressrosa arc was coming out.
Mhm.
Never been into manga. No hate on manga, it's just like not my medium. Like I don't have like the patience or like the discipline to like go panel by panel, like really look at the stuff. I just kind of read the words and go through it. So I've always been anime, but recently I've figured out that like in order to avoid the major spoilers, I'm gonna have to be on the manga.
Mhm.
Like it's just unavoidable. Like Gear 5, and I saw it coming weeks away. I can't risk the major spoilers, so I'm on the manga now, which is kind of a bummer. But I bring this up to say that like this show, like the Larry's read along on Sundays, and then the show afterwards on Mondays, has been like a huge positive thing for me. I really look forward to the show. So thank you guys. I appreciate the channel a lot. Just want to say that.
Thank you.
And then I really look forward to it now. And then also like a quick theory. I think we're gonna find out that the reason Dragon has been completely absent from Luffy's life is because of his failures to save the babies. I think he blames himself, and he doesn't like. I think he's gonna consider himself not worthy as a father, and that's why he's never like even met Luffy. Because we know he cares. He saves him in Locktown, and he's always looking east or whatever, but he's never even like met him. So I think that's why.
Okay. Well, one, I want to say thank you for the kind words. I know Larry puts a lot in. Like I don't think y'all ever truly understand the amount of effort and work Larry puts into making the pod what it is. So anytime you guys are kind or saying nice things to him, I'm always super appreciative of that. I know he is as well. So thank you for that. I'm sorry about you getting spoiled on Gear 5 and just in general. It's kind of tough to be
Yeah.
anime only in the One Piece space. I love the One Piece community, but they're some of the worst spoilers in the game. I ain't gonna lie. I try to defend them as best I can, but they're bad. They're really bad with it. So I'm sorry that you have to go into the manga space. But in regards to Dragon, to me, he kind of highlighted why he's not in Luffy's life as much. And I know some people will view this as a negative. I know we've joked about Dragon in the past, but a child is technically someone's weak point. Dragon doesn't know what he would be willing to do or give up if Luffy was ever truly targeted and leveraged against him in some way. And he's trying to fight for the people beyond just the people he cares about, beyond just Luffy, beyond just Garp, beyond just Ginny's. You know what I mean? He's trying to fight to free the world from the tyranny that is the world government. So it's like I can't allow my emotional attachment to even my son weigh me down in the way that it would weigh down Akuma. Look at the deal Kuma ended up making with the world government to save Bonnie. And it's like Dragon knows that kind of stuff is capable of happening even to him. And he's trying his best to put the revolution as a whole over his need to be a father, over his desire to be in Luffy's life. And it's respectable. I can commend it. I've already said I'm not a huge Dragon fan, but I've always appreciated at least that element of him. I just don't. The kind of character he is, it doesn't vibe with me as much. But yeah, I don't know that it's anywhere where he blames himself for the other babies, and that's why he will stay away from Luffy. I just don't think that's the mindset the Dragon's in, personally. But I
So
could be
you
wrong.
think about it, like
Mhm.
they don't even keep it a secret. Like, is it Garp that just like blurts it out loud that it's his father? So they don't even keep it a secret. I get what you're saying. Like, obviously, like he can't be in his life. But, like, to not even like meet him once, I feel like it has to be something deeper than that. But yeah, like obviously he can't be in his life being in the Revolutionary Army. But like they don't even keep it a secret. Everyone knows at this point that that's his son.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, so just be lucky you're not in Japan as a living resident. I say this because if they were anime only watchers, the way you might have been at one point, and then you had to force yourself to become like a manga reader, they released Shamrock's like photo inside of like their subway system, and he's just like plastered on the
What? Oh
walls.
my
So
god.
there's just like Shamrock in manga form, no color, just
Yeah,
chilling.
that's crazy.
So
That's bad, bro.
imagine you've been in you. This is like your Disney Mickey Mouse show, and all of a sudden you see another Mickey Mouse, but he just looks super handsome with long hair. You're like, yo, what the hell is this, bro?
That's crazy.
Yeah, man,
I'll
it's
say
tough, bro.
that.
They had
Um,
spoiled Gear 5 too, bro. Like it was all over the
Yeah, I'm
subway
sure
system.
if they had that, they for sure had that too.
Bro,
Crazy.
it was bad.
so I've come to realize here's what God Valley has taught us about Dragon and his W. I want to say W, but his absentee father status with
You could
Luffy.
say W. Oh, never
All right.
mind.
Here's what I'll say. From what God Valley has shown us is that Dragon has faced impossible odds, and through that impossible odd, he was faced with caring for a child, and he ultimately failed because he wasn't strong enough. With that carries some PTSD. He decides to leave the army, and through leaving the army, he only wasn't recognized, probably he wasn't recognized, this is just hypothetical, sorry, that he was keeping evidence through people that were saved from God Valley. And when he went and defected from the Marines, they told him, you're not allowed to leave with this information, but overall, you're not allowed to leave the Marines. Because if you do, that means whatever contract you signed to be in the Marines, you are not abiding by it. So therefore, you're becoming AWOL. Now, when you're AWOL, if you do not come back to the army within 30 days or any military position within 30 days that you sign up for, on the 31st day, they decide to hunt you. So you get hunted down and then you go to jail, which I assume would probably be with an impel down because of what he did on God Valley, right? If some of his Navy men happen to tell on him, which I assume they probably would, just so they don't pass away to the world government knowing this, right? And then he decides to build the Freedom Fighters, which directly conflicts with the world government's affiliations of the world, right? So at this point, Dragon has become such a criminal to the world government that I think it's kind of impossible for him to go to Luffy and to see him at least once. I think in his stead, Garp did so because Dragon probably requested it. That Garp at least be in his life a little bit, even though he had priorities, with the world government. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was like one conversation that happened before he defected to say, "Hey, look after my kid," after he had a kid. So I think I don't think he's that much of an L absentee father. It's probably because, bro, he's being hunted 24/7.
What about Logtown though? Do we?
That's
It's
a
been
good
a while since
point.
I've seen it, but is there a reason? Like, why didn't he see him then? Like, why didn't he meet him then?
That is a good point.
I mean, he kind of saw him.
Yeah,
Kind
I'm
of
sure he
saw him,
saw
man.
him.
Kind of saw him, man. He saw Luffy. Luffy ain't see him. He saw Luffy.
Yeah.
You know. To me, again, I think he's still trying to keep the persona or like the separation. Like, look at I'm gonna take this a little too far, but look at what they did because they said Roger was acting fatherly. You know what I'm saying? They was wiping out entire generations of children at birth. Just because Roger might be a dad one. Roger might have a kid. Hold on now. You know,
True.
so
Yeah.
if Dragon is like moving in a way where they're like, whoa, that seemed like a father-son relationship right there. It's very different. And in general, as strong as Luffy is, or as strong as he's gonna become, like if they sent admirals after him, shoot, at that time, if they sent any vice admiral after him,
Oh,
he'd have
yeah.
been cool. So it's like,
Hmm.
you know, if that's he knows the lengths that the world government and the Marines are willing to go to wipe out threats like this. If they know Dragon got a kid, you know what I'm saying? It's probably not good. He should have changed his name, low key, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing. I don't know if he could, but I'd have been like, yo, my name is Steve.
He was too
Lizard D
worthy.
Steve, bro.
Dragon was too worthy, I would say, at this point.
Look at Larry with the dragon glaive. Look at that. This is growth.
I hope we get to see that, or I hope we find out. I hope we get to see Dragon knowing that the Shanks is one of those babies and he's alive.
That'd be
cool.
nice.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I hope he knows. I hope it's the opposite happens, and he runs into Shamrock, and Shamrock realizes that's
Oh
not the other.
shit!
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that'd be horrible. Damn.
But Juice, I appreciate the call, man.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you. Guwap in the Twitch chat. Thank you for the bits, man. Appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that's on all the platforms right now that's sending love our way. We love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Next, I'll get Trey Bros in here, and then we'll get to some more super chats. Trey, you there?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up?
What's up, man?
Sure.
Talk to us.
Talk to us. Theory, question, what's up?
All right. Usually I come up here and I flex about Clash Royale, but I got an actual question.
Have you been losing? Is that what it is?
Nah, I've been losing. Nah, I'm still above Chris, number one in the clan. Still chilling.
Okay.
But I have a question regarding Dummy Reversied Rocks and how y'all think these characters would face against them. So the core admirals, the main three, Akainu, Kizaru, and Aokiji versus Dami Reversied Rocks. How I want to see how like y'all think it would go down, basically.
Versus who?
Dami Reversied Rocks. So Dami Reversied Rocks versus the original three admirals. Assuming as they are now, like today, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like the latest chapter kind of highlighted that in order to overcome this Dami Reversied curse, you need to use Conqueror's Haki. And not just Conqueror's Haki, to combine it, mass it, and target it together, right? I love the admirals. I'm a huge admiral guy. I'm a huge Akainu guy. And I think Akainu has Conqueror's Haki. I'm not sure whether or not Aokiji has it. And I just don't think Kizaru has it at all. So it's tough for me to be like, yeah, they can win that fight without the ability to create that critical mass that Garp and Roger had to create in order to win. So I'm going to go Dami Reversied Rocks.
All right.
I think you kind of have to.
Yeah.
And I heard you say that, but I think you kind of have to.
Yeah. I'll say the same thing. Dami Reversied Rocks, no diffs, the three admirals. And that's realistically what it is.
No different?
Yeah. So this is the point, right? You have to say if this is just speculation, but if Akainu does have it, let's just say, does he have it to the degree where his Conqueror's Haki is the same amount of mass as Roger and Garp on Gunabouts? So if you believe that, then okay, I can see how you would say yes, the admirals would win. But if you don't think that, then there's absolutely no way for the admirals to win.
Okay.
Yeah. It hurts me, but I can't disagree with that.
So if I were to replace someone like Kizaru with someone like Kaido, say Kaido, Aokiji, and then Akainu versus Dami Reversied Rocks, do you think, as he said, looking like he might change his answer. Do you think Kaido could output the same amount of power as someone like Garp or Roger during that time?
So
Me personally, I don't know. I like Kaido a lot, but I don't know.
kind of that boy. It's still a lot of speculation in regards to the Haki capabilities of Akainu. Like at the minimum, to me, at the minimum, you got to be a sky splitter if we're going to even have this conversation for real. Because obviously, Garp seemingly is, Roger seemingly like was clearly, and then like Rox was. You know what I mean? So it's like Rox is going to be protecting himself with Conqueror's Haki throughout, according to what Roger and Garp were saying. So it's like you need sky splitter level Haki. So Kaido has that. I assume Akainu has that, but again, that's me, my headcanon and my assumptions, right?
Yeah.
I can't, in good faith, be like, I expect that and this and that if I'm going to make this argument. So I think you still probably got to go no. But I'd be down to entertain that thought process, though. You know what I'm saying?
I really just wanted to see if Seb would think that the Admirals would beat Rox. I just wanted to see him, take that.
I will say, Larry brought up a point on the stream yesterday that I didn't think of. Maybe the Admirals could get that man in that water, man. All right, they got devil fruits.
My God.
All right, they got stuff that they can do. They're not just humans with swords and fists, okay? They got
Who's
utility.
moving rocks like that, though?
I don't know, man.
Not Kizaru.
Hey,
Not Kizaru.
They got utility, man. They got stuff going on for them. Kaido, too, he can lift entire islands. You know?
Okay,
I flip this island over and throw it all in the water.
Okay.
All right?
I guess.
Trey, appreciate the call, bro.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Going.
All right, let's get to some of these super chats.
I'm glad you thought that about Akainu though, because for a second you be scaring me sometimes, bro. Because you be really like, yo. Akainu definitely got the mass of Conqueror's Haki that Garp and Roger combined has, yo.
I love Akainu to death, right? He's my favorite admiral. He's my boy. You know, he made One Piece great again. You know what I'm saying? He did that.
Yeah.
But we talking about Garp and Roger. we talking about Garp and Roger. I don't think there's any version of Akainu that's beat either of those dudes.
Listen,
right?
man.
So it's like,
listen, man. I've seen two conquerors get together and do a very insane attack. You know what I'm saying? Which we've told you about before, but your love for characters began to wait. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. That's why I was shocked a little bit. You said nah.
If Zoro didn't briefly block, I probably wouldn't have felt that way. But when I saw Zoro do it, I was like, all right, there's an avenue for my guy.
Bro, it was 1 second and he broke like 27 bones.
The question was, can he match what Zoro did? I said yes, for sure.
You said it cancels out, man.
Little girl in there, man. Little girl, bro. Use the elbow too if you need to. Yeah. But we got a couple more super chats. Let's get to these. We got 5 months at Nakama status from the Dragon Truck. It says, thoughts on Shanks being Dami Reversied? Oh, that'd break Luffy's heart.
Hey, man. Let it happen, yo.
Nah, don't do it.
Let it happen, yo.
That's possible, right? I'm not with it.
Let it happen, yo. Would Garling allow it?
What he gonna do to stop it? Listen. The Garling hype has died, bruh. It's still there a little bit, but it ain't looking good. So what he gonna do to stop it?
Listen, bro, God Valley ain't over, yo. You can still scar wipe it, yo.
Listen, I need a future date for that one, which I guess I always did, but whatever. We got another 17 New Zealand dollars from, I can't read the name, but the doctor or the something. Big ups, you guys. I was rereading the God Valley chapters. Thoughts on Emu having Buggy's fruit? What? After the Conqueror's attack from the Yonko, they appear in 3 pieces. That reminds me of Buggy. #topped on top. #bald.
I would say
Trying to
no.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not fully comprehending it.
It's because Rock sliced them, and then it meant nothing. So it kind of was like, oh, Buggy's devil fruit. But you could also be like, yo, Katakuri's fruit, because you know what I'm saying? There was holes throughout him, but he wasn't being hit.
Rocks got sliced in the last chapter. He was cut. I mean, he was cut though. I guess it did hurt him. It's not the same, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I doubt it.
I don't.
I would say it's very doubtful. Very doubtful.
Yeah. All right, we did get another 5 from Black Shadow. Had a theory that Dami Reversi only works on D clan members. Thoughts?
I don't like the limitation of Dummy Reversi. Let it be anybody, bro. Is it scarier that way?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Is what he did on Dorian Bragi Dami Reversi, or is it something else? It's Dami Reversi, right? Because they're not D clan members.
Yeah. It's Dummy Reversi. It's just a different use. It's just a different use of Dummy Reversi.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't subscribe to that one, Black Shadow. Another 10 from Navy Blue. So I think that if Blackbeard is before Emu at some point and Emu tries to Dami teach that the Yami Yami no Mi will Uno reverse Dami reverse. Hence why Rocks wanted the fruit and why Teach did too. So can the Yami reverse the Dami reversi? I don't know. It could very well be why. We still haven't gotten the answer to like what exactly is the reason Rocks wanted these fruits. I thought we would get at least a hint at it at God Valley, and I guess God Valley's not exactly over, so maybe we still do, but it could very well be that could be why.
I would say yes. So I strongly lean towards the belief that the Yami was needed in order to suppress the wills of devil fruits so the person wielding the Yami can also eat another devil fruit. I'm leaning towards that insanely right now. That's always been my thought process. That's why it was the first devil fruit that Blackbeard felt he needed in order to progress his career further. Now, with that being said, what is the Yami? It's the darkness ability, right? Blackbeard stated with the darkness ability comes infinite gravity. And I believe this is the reason why he can suppress the wills of devil fruits within him, hence eating two. So if Emu is initiating Domi Reversi, either by touch or the transmutation circle created, I believe because he basically has the ability to use infinite gravity, he can probably use gravity to push down his evil desires or the transformation itself, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue back that too much. I low-key agree. All right. We got another 5 from Lucky Roo. How would y'all like Dragon and Luffy to meet, and what do y'all expect from that meeting? Not much. I'm gonna be honest with you. Luffy doesn't have like this desire to meet his dad like that. Like it's not a huge thing for him. Luffy will be more excited about if Sabo's there than he would be about Dragon's existence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do expect it to be a heartfelt thing for Dragon because he has had to make the sacrifice about not being in Luffy's life and seeing Luffy become this like Yonko or even potentially Pirate King. And basically the person that he's going to be relying on to fulfill his goal. Like him seeing Luffy be the Warrior of Liberation live action, I could see Dragon getting even emotional about that. Especially if he knows some more deeper history than I anticipate that he knows. But in general, like I just expect them to meet in the final war when they're taking on the world government, and I don't have any high like expectations of that moment, to be honest. Like it'll be cool. Hopefully Garp is there too. I would love to see all three of them. But I don't think it needs to be a major moment in the story personally. This isn't like Gon trying to meet his dad. Like this isn't that. It just isn't. You know?
All right. Next one.
Yeah. Another 10 from Smith04. Just finished binging Gantz after hearing you guys talk about it for so long, and it didn't disappoint. Could maybe make my top 5. Love you guys with the heart emoji. Yeah, man, Gantz is so good. It's so good. It's a little dark. Hope you took a break. If you didn't, seek help. But yeah, I love Gantz. Top 5 is a little high. I might go top 10, but I don't know how many series you've read or what your top 5 looks like or what you favor. Is Gantz in your top 5, Larry? I know it ranked pretty high for you. I don't know if it's top 5 though.
It could be top 10. It could be top 10. Yeah, because K is one of the greatest protagonists of all time.
K a goat, man. K a goat.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
And the artwork is phenomenal. There's a lot of weird stuff that goes on in Gantz, but the artwork is some of the best I've ever seen in my life. Like I go back and look at some of those panels just because. So, yeah. If y'all haven't already, check out Gantz. But prepare yourself. Another 2 from the red-haired gator. If you could add one person to God Valley, who would it be?
One person to God Valley? No.
Why? You know, he would do well in that, like the mid-tier rocks pirate category. He would do well in that hijinks, I think.
Listen, bro, there's a lot of God personas. I would love to see his persona during all this.
I have one. He was actually there. He just didn't do anything. Bogart. I wish we got something from my guy. I wish we got something. Just a little something from him. You know, but whatever. Another 8 months at Yonko status, our highest tier of membership from Mr. Aura. It says monthly tax. Thank you, Aura. Appreciate it, man. Another 350 New Zealand dollars from T-Dot. It says reread the panel. Moo stays in chopped pieces. I'm pretty sure didn't Dory's arm stay in a disconnected piece, but it was still levitating. I just don't know how Emu's powers worked for me to be saying this is Buggy's fruit. I'm gonna go with you.
So when it happened with Broggy, he already had his arm chopped off. Well, shot off. And then through Domi Reversi, it came back, but it never connected. So it shows that it wasn't able to be regenerated. So he most likely still loses the hand.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
So when you're in Domi Reversi, you can regenerate anything, but outside of it, your injuries don't come back. So if Shanks was to be Domi Reversi'd, he would still just have one arm. He wouldn't be able to have the other, his arm would just be gone. It wouldn't regenerate at all. From what it looks like, because that's what happened with Broggy.
We got another 9 New Zealand dollars from T-Dot. It says, fair enough. Was just a thought. I'm normally team Seb, but he do be rage baiting, I swear. Hashtag Haki Chucker. Hashtag Grinko Tax. Hashtag Swebby. I don't even know what you're referring to, but I appreciate it, T-Dot. You know what I'm saying? I guess I do be rage baiting. Another 2 from Joey Denko. If it's ever man versus women, always bet on Garland. Come on. I need him to show out a little bit, bro. Just a little bit.
Malpopo, welcome to Twitch.
Yeah. Another 5 from Trey Bus, who was just in here, I think. Just have to ask, will work see characters? Will we see characters like Harold and Rox in future DDTs? Would love to see the matchups you put them in. Hashtag MudbuttSeb. Hashtag W. Actually, Harold and Rox will be featured in a DDT coming shortly. Me and Larry were just discussing the DDT schedule for the remainder of this season. And we made a slight tweak just to kind of push some things along so that we can get more info on a matchup. Full transparency, we were supposed to get Loki versus Kaido this week. I anticipated when we built out the schedule that we would see Loki in action by now. I was wrong. So we're going to have to delay that matchup a couple weeks. But that's kind of the same for Harold. He has a matchup with somebody very strong. Look forward to that one. And Rox, I feel like it's going to be obvious who his matchup is, but we're getting that later down the line as well. So look forward to it. Trey, definitely stick around for that. DDT tomorrow, by the way, everybody. We got another 5 from Bama King. It says, my theory will be hated, but it could be true. Can't wait to see the reactions. Yeah, Bama, I see you in the calling streams. We'll get you in here shortly to give your theory. But stick around. I'm excited to see it. And then another 5 from Big Taxon. It says nothing. So Taxon, next time, let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you, bro. $5 is a lot of money for a lot of people. I know you like to support, but next time we'd love to hear you just a question, anything. You can troll, it doesn't matter. All right. Let's get somebody in here.
Classy Goose, thank you for subbing on Twitch. Appreciate you, Gangy.
All right, let's get NYC Anime Nerd in here because he was supposed to go 2 weeks ago and we ended up not going for him. So Nerd, talk to me, man.
Nerd.
Nerd, you there? I might have to wait on Nerd. Oh.
Yo, I need like 20 minutes. I'm walking my dog.
Oh, yeah. Just ping me when you're ready, bro.
Yeah, I'll be like 15, 20 minutes. My bad.
No, you're good.
But I did just want to say,
I say what? I can't hear you.
all right, cool.
Oh, are we losing?
Looks like it.
All right, let's get Bama King in here then. Bama, you there?
Dope profile pic.
Yo, what's up, guys?
How's
Oh,
it
man.
going, man?
I was deafened a little bit. All right, ain't gonna lie, a little nervous, but a lot of people are gonna hate this. I got laughed at for this theory, but I don't think it's too insane because it makes sense. They said it makes sense, just don't like it, and I understand. That don't mean it won't be true though. All right, and excuse this first sentence. It started out crazy. All right. Roger never found the One Piece, but rather made it up to spark the next generation to go on a journey to get them to uncover the world's secrets. Why would Roger make up the One Piece? Well, to get the next generation intrigued. Well, I've thought about it. Well, one night watching TOPT, you know what I'm saying? It was the podcast where y'all were arguing would Luffy and Blackbeard ever team up, and this is what sparked it for the theory. All right. But to get y'all on the same page, I'll have to go back and talk about Roger. Before Roger was a great pirate we all know and love, or rather the most important pirate, we've heard so much about him during our journey to finding the One Piece. He was the first one to ever mention the One Piece, which kind of made him the owner or the origin of this mysterious object. Now, if you date before and after God Valley, you will notice some character development between Roger. Before God Valley, he was just your typical strong pirate going around, looking for love or whatever, being free. Fast forward, during God Valley, the mysterious beings and the wonders that happened on this island left Roger curious. After accepting the fact that he couldn't have his love Shaki, he set sail, but with a different mission at hand. While still being a free pirate, he searched for answers, crossed paths with poneglyphs. And when he finally acquired someone that could read these messages, he found the answer, and I believe he named it the One Piece. Now that that's out of the way, the question at hand is, why do you think the One Piece is the answer? Pretty sure Oda already stated that the One Piece is something tangible, meaning something that can be touched. An answer isn't exempt from being tangible, and I believe the answer is obvious and has been in our faces this whole time. Since an answer isn't exempt, I would say Luffy is the One Piece. Now you might say, how is Luffy the One Piece? Well, the answer is very simple. Think of a puzzle. If you have every piece except one, well, if you have every piece except one, the puzzle can never be counted as completed. The old generation, I believe, had every piece except the Joy Boy piece. That's why I believe Roger left at the end of his journey, which led him to start the spark of the new generation. If you thought about this, Roger didn't have to give himself up. He could have just lived as a father grew old, or could he? Roger discovered the secrets and completed his goal, and his goal was to find answers. Hence why he didn't turn out like Big Mom or, one of the bad futures, and he didn't look, how they did. Now back to the answer, or in my case, the One Piece. The worst generation had the weapons, they had everything, but they didn't have the last piece, or in their case, they didn't have the glue that holds all the pieces together. What am I saying? What I'm saying is they had the means to defeat Emu, but they were too divided. Just think about the possibility of Rocks having Harold and the Giants on his side. Then Roger and Garp. Imagine if Garp persuaded Marines to defy the world governments and the higher-ups and fight with pirates just this one time. If the divided had came together and joined hands in the battle, they gave them a better shot to beat the higher-ups. Sounds sweet, doesn't it? This is why Roger laughed, because it was too early, he states, or rather, it was too late for his generation to do anything. The conclusion is Luffy is the One Piece that completes this mysterious puzzle that Roger left for the new generation. Luffy is the glue that connects all pieces, that will unravel this evil leader we know as Emu. Think about it. Every arc, he isn't doing it intentionally, but he's saving islands. They will come to his side and fight with him. Luffy is slowly but surely building his army. What did Mihawk say about Luffy at Marineford? What was his greatest weapon? It wasn't a physical weapon, but rather his charisma and ability to make forces join together. How ironic. Luffy has the ability to gather the world against the world government, even the Marines. Fujitora has already fell in love with the type of man Luffy is. My point here is, it's not even hard for him to bring even enemies to his side. In the end, Luffy will have this big battle, and I even think Kaido will probably be back. Possibly even this might deem his dream to come true and die in this final battle. Not to forget, Whitebeard also threw a little foreshadow in Marineford, saying, "You are not him, Teach. You are not the guy Roger was telling me about." And that's pretty much it.
Mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
I could understand why people won't mess with it, because it's basically just super friendship. But it is a solid theory. I will say it is a solid theory, and I think you cooked.
Yeah, I can't say it's a bad theory, right? I can't. Everything you said that preface the theory is true. Like, I can't disprove it. I can't say it's a bad theory. My issues with it are a couple things. One, like Larry mentioned, the friendship element. Yo, that's literally One Piece is the friends we made along the way. Like, that is in the most narrative structured way you could name it, but that's what that is. That's what you just did just now.
That's what my boy said. I was telling him, I said, "Do you know what the One Piece is?" I said, "Nah, it's Luffy." But the first answer he said, he was like, "Is it the friends we made along the way?" I said, "Kinda."
I can't. I'm not trying to hear that.
Yo, if I can add to it, and this is gonna be an additional aspect to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could put Ryuma into this, bro, and let me tell you why.
Also,
Ryuma wanted to fight the person he was searching for, but he could never find him because it was him all along.
Okay.
So Luffy searching for the One Piece, he just searching for himself. Foreshadow, bro.
This is so ass.
I wouldn't say that. Hold on. I wouldn't say that. Come on, Seb. I know y'all hate it, but it's like the closest answer. It's the closest answer to like being the One Piece. Think about it. I also said this too. Who is supposed to be Luffy's parallel? Roger, right? Roger is not someone who's gonna name the One Piece a weapon, or I think his treasure was the journey he had. Really, I truly do. He had fun doing this. Finding this mysterious being, you know what I'm saying? You know, once he realized he couldn't do nothing about it, he laughed and stuff.
But
But Roger's not gonna make the One Piece a weapon. It's definitely not a weapon. I'm just saying. I know that for a fact.
I think the issue that I have with it is that it implies that once you find the treasure, that the treasure is like not an actual thing. Like it's just gonna be the realization that you need to bring the world together. And it's like maybe that realization happens, but that kind of I don't know. I feel like that kind of spits in the face of what Rayleigh was saying when he was like, "Yo, we found it and we had our answer, but you could find it and have a different answer, right? Like you might think something differently than we thought. You might come to a different conclusion. So like you got to find it yourself, and then that'll determine it. Now maybe I'm misremembering Rayleigh's words here a bit, but in general, like if it ultimately is whoever finds it is the treasure, that doesn't correlate to that, you know? Like there's still something there that you have to learn. Like no matter what, even if Roger's intention obviously was for a man like Luffy, it was supposed to be Ace or whatever, but a man like Luffy is supposed to come find the treasure and then do something about the treasure. So if you want to say like Luffy is Roger's One Piece, like I'm fine with that, but the treasure itself still needs to be something else. I hope I'm making sense now to you.
Now you
Do you
making
get me?
sense.
Yeah, like
What dare I
all
even
this
say?
is so that Roger, so that a Luffy could come. Somebody like Luffy could come and find the treasure. But the treasure itself still needs to be something that Luffy identifies and sees and either decides to take action or doesn't. Because that's what Roger's asking or Roger's waiting for. It's not waiting for a dude to be like, oh, it's me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not what he's waiting for.
But dare I say, Luffy,
I'm the man. Like that's not it.
do we genuinely think Luffy cares about the One Piece anymore?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Now he doesn't know what it is, but even if it's something dumb, he still wants it just because. I've fought my entire life for this. I've basically staked my entire life to this point on the journey to find this thing.
That's fair. That's a fair answer.
I'll say this: if there's like a mirror or something, it's like you're the One Piece, Luffy gonna crash out.
No. I hope it's not that. I hope it's. I've tried to think about how would it be revealed that Luffy's gonna care about it still, and it's like I can already see the crew's reaction to it. I don't know how it's gonna be revealed though. That's the only part I can't like really.
We'll see. We'll see, man. But Bama, I thought it was a really good theory, and thank you for writing it out and taking the time to like structure it in the way that you did. Because even if I don't like it, I did think it was well thought out and well put together. So thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, y'all take care.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Oh, all right. Let's get Reaper in here. Reaper, are you there?
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
You good?
How y'all doing? What's
Chilling,
up,
man.
everybody? Like this stream?
Yeah, like the stream, y'all. Like the stream. What's up? You got a theory, a question? What's going on?
I got a few theories. I do have a question. And
we only got time for one theory or one question, dog. Ain't no few theories.
Got it. Well then, I wanted to say I got a theory. I call it the tragedy of a grandfather, a friend, and a brother gone too soon.
Okay.
Right. So we all know that Garp has the voice of all things from the previous chapter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we flash back to Marineford, where we have Garp, we have Ace, we have Luffy and Whitebeard, and all the Marines, and the 7 warlords, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, as the events of Marineford escalate, Garp wants to act. However, he can't. So he calls for help using the voice of all things. But still nothing. No help from the fledgling conqueror Luffy. None from the Yonko, Whitebeard, who for like he was trying his best to save Ace, but we still don't know if he could hear him. And no help from the kid who was about to die, whose life was near its end, Ace. I believe Shanks heard him though, and Shanks made a direct route towards where the Haki was coming from, towards the war. And where he was slowed when he met Kaido, and who was seemed to also be headed that way. A bit of time had passed, and a bit more chaos ensued. Ace was freed by all the odds, but Akainu, being the guy he is, taunts and succeeds in taunting Ace to turn around. But Garp, seeing Ace like home stretch, about to see the finish line, almost free. He can't move. He can't do anything. So he shouts, "Go! Leave!" But Ace can't hear him. Shanks arrives, but he's too late. And all Garp is left thinking is, why didn't you listen, Ace?
I like it because seemingly the first time Garp ever used the voice of all things was with Ace's father and Roger. So for him to try to use it on Ace, I think that'd be pretty dope. I think it'd be doper if they were able to communicate actually with the voice of all things, and Ace did hear him.
He ignored.
Not so much ignored. I mean, based off the results of what ended up happening, it would have to have been ignored. But when Garp and Ace had their conversation and Garp started crying and everything, like if he was ever going to use the voice of all things, wouldn't it have been then?
I agree.
But we got the emotional element, and I think that worked better for Ace to see the impact that all this was having on Garp internally. So, I don't know. I like what we got. I do like the thought process of Garp trying to use the voice of all things. I was going to ask you, you mentioned Shanks coming and hearing it. Can you hear the voice of all things from that distance? Like, I know Zuniche is huge, but like that's a ways. Shanks was islands away. Right? Or am I misunderstanding that part of it?
I don't know if there's necessarily because if he was shouting out for help, I don't think he would limit it. But if there is a limit, then you could have me there.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he was pleading, he would try to reach as far as he could, I think.
I do kind of like it. I wonder if, obviously, Luffy. I'm trying to remember if Luffy had triggered the voice of all things at any point before that. I don't think so. I think it's the first time he used it was Fishman Island, right? If I remember correctly,
Yeah.
it's the first time we ever have a confirmed Luffy use of. Yeah. So.
Here enough. Yeah.
I don't know. I like it and I don't like it. So I don't have much else. But that's kind of where I'm at with it now.
That'd be a good Garp flashback when he passes away.
Yeah.
I don't want Garp to die.
Hey man, he's a mentor figure in anime. It's kind of
very true.
That's kind of how it works.
Their destiny. Yeah, you're right.
It's kind of how it works, bro.
I wish he had talked to Dragon before he left.
We might get that. We might still get it. Hopefully.
No, he's leaving. he up the pole on
the. But Reaper, appreciate the theory, man. Yeah. I thought it was well crafted, and it's a thought process I haven't heard before. So thank you.
Yeah, that was good.
Of course, I was writing it just when you pulled me up because I had thought of it when I was chewing the fat with the people in the entrance. So.
Okay.
Yeah, appreciate y'all hearing me out. Everybody, love y'all. Like the stream. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, brother. Thank you.
For sure.
All right. I know we got a couple super chats sitting, so I'll read them before we get the next couple callers in. Actually, just the one. We got 5 from Ramon Q&A? Q8? I don't know. It says, we have Davy Jones and Marco Polo. What if Jack Sparrow hatched from the egg on Roger's ship? I don't know how I'd feel about that, to be honest.
I don't know either. That egg is probably one of the worst, like things in One Piece.
You think so?
Yeah, bro. It's been nothing's hinted towards anything being of it. It's been like a little misdirection from Oda that he just toying around with y'all at this point, bro.
Yeah.
Like he don't care about you, bro.
We'll see. We'll see. I've never had good egg theories. I'll say that. It's never sparked my mind to be like, oh, this is what's being said. Like, this is why. I've never had anything to be like, yo, this is what it is. And I'm typically one of the more imaginative One Piece theory crafters. Maybe not. There's some out there theories. Right. Let's get Eclipse in here. Eclipse, you there?
Yes. Hello. Thanks for having me. Oh, nothing much. Oh my! I switched over my audio. It was my end about the audio. My speakers were acting weird. I tried playing something else. I was like, why is the audio messed up? I had to reset my speakers and all that stuff. So my bad about spooking you with the audio like that. So
No, you're good, man.
So I came here with two things. One was a joke, and then two was a statement I would like to give, or just something I gave like recognition to. Chat wants to know, would you guys receive uppies from Yamato, Gerd, or York? The C's need to know.
If I had to choose between the three, Gerd would be the one to give me uppies.
Excellent choice. There is no wrong answer here. I'm just curious, where do y'all go?
Yeah, I'm going Gerd, bro.
Yeah, man.
Excellent choice. Amazing. Okay.
That's my snoo, bro.
Okay. Real statement. Larry, you took an unexpected W in this recent chapter with the idea of Roger and Garp coming forward with their critical mass like Haki statement. I can't remember what episode of the pod that you said it, but you proposed the question when Rock swung his sword, and when he swung his sword around the main mast or around the supporting mast of a ship whenever Harold came by, you asked, is Rox's Haki distorting space? The short answer is yes. So when Roger comes forward and he's talking about his maybe we should pump all of our Haki into one singular point into making like this one critical mass and it like warping space at some point. Rox is probably doing that subconsciously. So maybe that's why he has like these cannon like fire like sword swings, because that is space cracking open because he's like warping it with these like micro black holes around his sword. So when you are onto something, when like, is he distorting space? You were onto something there. Short answer, yes, he was. You were also right on the, is Garp doing a Gatling to the point where his hands are on fire because of friction? Short answer, yes. Manga, so we can stretch some things, but short answer, yeah, his hands would be on fire if he was not any sort of like flame entity or deity, or doesn't have the ability to spontaneously combust like Sanji can, like anything like that. So yeah, so that's probably would be how like he would be able to have his hands be on fire, and also we would be hearing like several sonic booms whenever that would be happening too. So whenever the anime comes around to animating that, I'm curious to see how that would go.
Yes. Are you finished or can we respond?
Yeah, that was all.
All right,
I'm done
one,
now.
bro, you sound exactly like Skip Bayless, and I love it.
Oh,
I could just imagine you bouncing on your chair while you're saying all this. Two,
you got me. Yeah, I am. I'm sitting here shaking my knee. Y'all are like celebrities, so I'm kind of nervous.
God.
no, you're
Shaking in my
good.
boots.
No, you're good. I never thought, and listen, don't read live chat because live chat is just gonna say you're glazing
I'm not
because they
even
don't
looking.
like to
I'm not even
admit
looking.
things when it comes to evidence within the manga and like trying to make sense of things. They just believe one way and that's the way they believe. That's everything that you can't tell them otherwise. But the way you connected Haki to gravity and the way critical mass just came out and that simple wording of it with Haki, I think you're onto something because it wasn't just me that mentioned Rox's Haki was literally distorting reality when he hit the ship. But when it did, I was like, we've never seen that. Like even from the strongest people in the show, we've never seen that, right? And to now get that, like this is what I'm saying. When Rox was under the Domi Reversi, he didn't use that type of Haki attack once against Garp and Roger. And this is why I tried to say like he's not using his full strength because his full strength is Haki based and not his physical stats strength. So I love that you pointed that out because I 1000% completely forgot about that aspect of his Haki and what it did to that ship. That was great, bro.
I also, coming from the chat, I had a whole like Seb needs to say his piece too, but about that, I had a great analogy to put that in terms of towards the end of yesterday's episode was is he at full strength or not? I have something for that, but Seb, do you have thoughts?
No, not really. Larry kind of echoed what I was gonna say. When you were making the correlation, I was like, yeah, that kind of works for me. Um, in general, I would have to say I agree for the most part. So yeah, I don't have too much to add. You had another piece that you wanted to say.
So to put it in kind of like like putting it in like game terms, you can think of Emu as like applying a buff. I'm going to give you a bunch of physical stats, right? Health, durability, health regen, like speed, strength, all that kind of stuff, right? And now now I have buffed your character. I'm going to take your character and their current kit, but I'm going to entirely change their play style. Do you achieve the same results? Yes or no?
No.
Depends on the buff.
The buff given was physical. If you so to put it in a more physical, like a more relatable terms, say you're playing a DPS in Rivals,
Oh, he doesn't
you
know
could
what
be
that is.
popping off. Okay, did
I
you
know what
play
it is
Overwatch?
though.
Okay.
I can assume. I can.
Okay. So I was going to say I'm versatile, but anyways, going to Rivals. Say you're popping off on DPS, right? And like Rock, say he's just like a god tier Black Panther. If he switches to Hulk, and does he achieve the same results if he continues to play Hulk as if he would Black Panther?
But that's what I mean when it matters what the buffs are, right? So, and I get the correlation here now. I hope anyway. Basically, it becomes a skill issue. Like Larry was saying, he can't tap into the same Haki skill usage that he would be if he's just not fighting in his same style, fighting in the way that he normally would. But my question is, could that character, the Black Panther or Rox in this case, reach these same heights with their Haki as the buffs are giving them? I saw this buff push Roger and Garp back simultaneously, while also like preventing him from taking damage, or at least extreme damage. I don't know that Rox can. I'll just say I don't believe Rox can do that without these buffs. You get what I mean? Like even if his Haki is strong as hell, I don't think he can do that. I just don't. I don't have Rox that high. So it's like if the buffs allow you to do that, then that makes you stronger to me. Because I don't think you'd be capable of doing that. Even if you can be more versatile, even if you have more utilization with what your Haki can do on an inside out or moment to moment basis, if you can be buffed to a degree that two characters can be knocked back when in typical standards you might not be able to knock them back regularly, then you're stronger to me. That's just kind of how I viewed it. And I think that's kind of the way
That's
Oda
fair.
wants us to view it, because it's like, yo, Rox is supposed to be a contemporary of these people, and now he's been buffed to a degree that both of them have to fight him at the same time. Like, I don't know that we're supposed to look at it any more grandiose than that, or more dissective than that, to be honest.
That's fair. I agree with that. I feel like if Rox didn't get these buffs, if it was a 2v1, it would be a high diff. With these emu buffs, it went from high diff to extreme diff, like almost impossible, because they believe at that point in time their lives are on the line and they may have to forfeit their lives. If he did not have these buffs, they may not have to push themselves to that point because there would be a need to. So maybe he would be able to push them back, but not as far and not for as long, question mark.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's where I have him for now. But yeah, I guess that's it.
Larry, you're muted for the people.
Oh, my bad. I'll just say it again. So basically, Domi Reversi, it doesn't amplify the body's durability, and oh my bad. Let me start again. So basically, Domi Reversi, it only amplifies the body's durability and grants immortality to the user through like regeneration. It doesn't boost Haki or willpower. The fact that Dorian Bragi didn't suddenly start showing Haki proves that. And then you also have Rox's family, who we can assume through Domi Reversi, if they did have Haki, it wasn't strong enough to combat Rox, right? So
I agree.
Rox's true power came from his Haki and his will, and not just physical strength. And remember, even with basic observation Haki, focus and composure are key. Katakuri literally tells Luffy, if you're not concentrating enough, or you're in an agitated like state of mind, then you may be unable to see the future as good as he could. So if Rox has lost control of his mind because of Domi Reversi, that means his Haki, the core of his strength, isn't functioning at full power. It's just leaking. So yeah, the curse might have made his body stronger, but without his will guiding it, in my opinion, he's actually weaker overall. So size or raw strength can't compete with willpower and control. That's what separates like true Haki users from monsters. And that's proven even with people like Shanks. So I think it's a nuanced take. I don't think it's like the same principles apply here. If if basic Haki can fluctuate based on like focus or calmness, then Rock's being overtaken by Domi Reversi doesn't automatically mean he was weaker before it. It just means his state of mind and I would say therefore control changed. His potential and raw strength were still his own before Emu's influence. Saying Rocks was stronger pre-Domi Reversi isn't about misunderstanding the story. It's about understanding how like Haki and willpower works in One Piece for me.
So
I agree.
I don't have like too major of pushback, but are you of the belief that he split the sky solo in Domi Reversi? Because like that's still Haki. Like you can't split the sky with brute strength. You know what I'm saying? Like Haki needed to be exerted for that. Like there's a
I
level of
believe
Haki being exerted when he attacks, when he's utilizing this power that's not of his own or not something that he was seemingly capable of doing alone.
I have pushback for that.
Okay.
Technically, you can split the sky without Haki, but being able to generate the force necessary to be able to do so without Haki is beyond most people's means. And by most people, that's everyone except the world government. And the world government has the Lelucia button. I mean, that's a weapon that when shot down, it was a laser that parted the sky and shot right through it. So, technically speaking, it is possible to be able to part the sky and all that stuff without Haki, but without great means of what is again said to be like a oh wow, blanking. What are oh my ancient weapon. To have an ancient weapon, like no one has ancient weapons in their pocket. That's only world government does. So they're the only ones who does. Everyone else besides that, they have to have Haki to be able to part this to be able to part the clouds. So, and as to whether did he do it solo, I'm in the belief that it was a group effort. I believe the group effort with all of the Haki generated at that point in time as a collective, that parted the clouds.
Okay.
So
I can lean it more towards maybe Rock's split more. I'll give you that maybe because he's in a stronger state physically on top of his Haki, all being misused. But that's about it.
okay, so for this instance with the sky splitting part, it doesn't kind of benefit the conversation at all because it could just be thrown to Roger and Garp clashing with Rocks beforehand. The sky split, that was it, and then Rocks let out a Conqueror's Haki blast. Therefore, the panel just looked up, and then the clouds are split, right? Because proof of evidence is every time the sky has split, it has always been through people clashing. The only time the sky has busted apart was when Luffy like went Gear 5 and used the Conqueror's Haki of his own, right? So there's clearly a difference when somebody uses Conqueror's Haki alone compared to somebody clashing. Clashing probably comes from the sky splitting probably comes from clashing. So let's move forward, right? So this is going to be really hard for people to accept, right? But Rocks being in base form means he's physically weaker. Physically. So that means he doesn't have the immortality, which means he doesn't have regeneration, which means he also doesn't have size. But that's not what makes characters strong in One Piece. You can be a skinny, fragile guy like Shanks, and yet with pure Haki can overcome giants. Therefore, the mass of your being doesn't really matter. Yes, you are physically stronger, without a doubt, but physical strength does not equate to Haki and willpower. Haki is always going to be over that. Always.
Overall skill.
So when it comes to this, right? If we can accept that that's true, because we know it's true, as a One Piece community, we know it's true. Haki is over size and strength. If we know this is true, then you have to assume if Rox's raw strength is weaker, but his Haki is stronger, then the Haki we're seeing in Domi Versi, because it's being manipulated and he's not calm and he's not focused, his Haki is weaker. But that's his main strength. So he's not going at full strength. So we can assume that base level Rox is not physically stronger. Domi Reversi Rox is stronger physically. But base level Rox, his Haki is stronger than Domi Reversi Rox's Haki. That's all it is. So it's a give and take from both forms. But you always have to go Haki over sheer strength and raw talent. At this point, it's always going to be Haki, bro. So for me, when we're looking at Rox and he's expelling Roger and Garp because his Haki is flying off the charts, well, guess what? That's just Rox, I would say, just leaking Haki and not actually using it to its fullest capability. So yes, Rox has more Haki levels he can reach that he's just not able to use. That's what it really comes down to. You can't argue the Haki aspect because Katakuri clearly states in order to use your Haki proficiently, in order to use Future Sight, you need to be calm and focused. If you're not calm and focused, you can't use Future Sight. So for somebody like Rox and Domi Reversi, why would he use it? How could he use it?
Again, so my issue with this is the notion that that Rox was capable of even reaching these Haki levels himself. You know what I'm saying? To me, he's utilizing Imu's Haki. Every time somebody commented on what was happening there between Roger, Rox, and Garp, they were saying, yo, the Haki over there, what is it? It's insane. It's this, it's that. It's still Haki being generated. And I'm just not of the belief that Rox could reach those levels of Haki, whether he could utilize it better himself if he was of his own sound mind and body, whether the argument is he could be even stronger than this if he had full control with these buffs. That's not the argument. The argument is, could Rox without the buffs reach this level of him with the buffs? And to me, once I start seeing him utilizing Haki, whether it's as proficiently as he could be using it, the raw power of the Haki that he's generating with all of these attacks, with all these defenses, with all these clashes, whether it's instinctive or not, whether it's purposeful or not, whether it's to the peak of his utilization of it or not, I don't believe that the best version of Rox is capable of overcoming that version of the Dami Reversi Rox. He can't create a critical mass strong enough to bypass the defenses. He can't win the battle of attrition. He can't create generate Haki bursts or slashes that would toss Garp and Roger away. Like, I'm just not of the belief that he can do that. Even if he can be more proficient with how he's utilizing his Haki, he might be able to get more shots off, etc. He might be a more efficient fighter, but it doesn't mean he's stronger. I think that's the issue. He can be a more efficient, better fighter than the Dami Reversi version of him. But that doesn't mean he's stronger than that person. That doesn't mean he would be able to overcome what we're seeing from Dami Reversi Rox. I'm just not of that belief. So and maybe I'm naive for thinking that, but I just don't think that, bro.
So the idea that he's using Imu's Haki, because that's what you're saying, right? He's using Imu's Haki at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's not... This is what I'm saying. I feel like sometimes like we just say stuff without backing it up, and then it sounds nice to others because they don't want to believe a certain thing. Therefore, they don't choose to believe it. But it's like, I'm offering you evidence, right? I offered you 2 cases, right? Where we see that when Imu takes over a person, such as Saturn and such as Gunko, Imu is actually using Imu's Haki, not Saturn's Haki, not Gunko's Haki, right? I'm not going to sit here and think Gunko has the same amount of Conqueror's Haki as Saturn. They just have different positions within the world government and different statuses. I don't believe that she's not even the supreme commander of the Holy Knights. Therefore, she's not using her Haki. She's using Imu's Haki. So the variable being is that there's straight possession from Imu. Now, when Imu uses Domi Reversi through the transmutation circle, that's not Imu possessing the person. That's just Emu using their power in order to flip the person upside down, and then that person becomes their worst desires, their primal nature, right? Their evil nature. Therefore, they're using their Haki. The same reason why if people who were turned through Domi Reversi through the transmutation circle, which I assume, right, was Rox's family, that means that each of those people would have Emu's Conqueror's Haki. And if that's true, if we know Rox doesn't have stronger Conqueror's Haki than Emu's Haki, then he would have never defeated his family with Garling attached. So that already proves that that's not true.
Not necessarily, because the issue with that is you're speaking as though we have defined and definitive answers to what Haki is being utilized and how with Domi Reversi. We just don't have that. Everything you said in regards to the possession with Gunko and Saturn and Domi Reversi and the differences, we don't have that concrete as evidence. Oda hasn't explained us to what these abilities allow him to do exactly. We're assuming, which is fine. I'm not mad at the assumption. I'm just saying those are assumptions. The same way I'm assuming what I'm assuming when I say that this is Emu's Haki. Even if this is the case, the difference is with Saturn, Gunko, possession, the Domi Reversi of other people. All of those vessels, all of those possessions, all those people weren't rocks, right? In the case of rocks, we get the grandiose Haki explosions that we weren't seeing from any of the other people, right? So whether it's Rox's Haki, whether it's because he's a Conqueror's Haki user and he just has the ability to tap into higher levels of Emu Haki output, we don't know what the answer is. What I do know is the rocks that I saw fighting Herald, fighting against Emu, fighting against people throughout so far, he didn't reach these levels of Haki. Can we agree on that?
No, that's not agreeable. No, you want to know why?
That's not agreeable?
No, and here's why. Here's why, right? Because Eclipse even just pointed it out. When Rox was using his own Conqueror's Haki attacks, he was bending space through that ship. That's one example.
That's you and Eclipse's interpretation of that scene.
Okay, so if that's not enough for you, hold on. If that's not enough for you, I'll bring up example 2. Example 2 is what we've learned through Wano. When you attach Rio, the advanced form of armament Haki, and you combine it with Conqueror's Haki, you then get advanced Conqueror's coating on your attacks, which means when you go to punch somebody, you do not have to touch them. Rox was able to do that with King Harold more than once. And guess what happened? He never did it during his fight with Garp and Roger. Instead, they actually touched swords where him and Harold didn't on Marijoa. So that's the second form of Rox using a stronger Haki attack than he is using on God Valley. So already that point is disproven, because if I'm using stronger Conqueror attacks or stronger Haki attacks in one place, but I'm not doing it right now, then that necessarily means I'm not really using the strongest forms of Conqueror's Haki. I'm literally just using the basic forms of Conqueror's Haki. I don't understand how that could be disproven. There's many examples.
I feel like we're going in circles now. Because to me, and again, we can move past it, but to me, Rox can be more skilled. He can be more skilled than what he's showing here. That doesn't mean he can reach the heights that we're seeing, bro. Like, I'm genuinely asking. I'm going to genuinely ask you this question. Do you think Rox can swing at Roger and Garp and knock them both back?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Yes.
Then
hold on. Let me get this straight, because it seems to not be clicking. We have a definitive answer from Katakuri, and we also had a definitive explanation from Mihawk regarding observation Haki. That is Haki. That's Haki itself, where Mihawk stated to Luffy, I'm surprised you were calm enough to understand that I was going to chop your hands off, basically. That you were able to foresee the future of me doing that. And then Katakuri goes, you have to be calm and collected and composed in order to use future sight to its utmost capabilities. Yet, we're looking at rocks, and he's not calm. He's not focused. He's not composed. Therefore, if he was to use a form of Haki, he wouldn't be able to use it at its highest degree. How is that not interlacing with the other Hakis as well? Why am I not getting an answer for that? Because you keep saying he's using his fullest capabilities, but we've been told by two people that this is how you use Haki.
Okay. One, the calmness situation is, I don't want to say it's specific to observation Haki, but it, in the way that you're utilizing or you're suggesting it, it is relatively specific to observation Haki, not Conqueror's Haki or armament Haki, right? At least in the way that Katakuri was speaking to it, et cetera, and the way you're trying to correlate it to rocks. Two, again, even if he can coat his ability, coat his sword with Conqueror's Haki, along with his armament Haki, and not touch, I'm still not of the belief that he would be able to then, while doing this, slash away both Roger and Garp. I don't think the gap between Rocks and those two men are that significant. Nothing I saw from Rocks would tell me that. Nothing I saw from him would tell me that. I'm sorry. There's nothing that I've seen on this man that would tell me that he could do that, bro.
Okay, so
it took a Dami reverse. The reason this happened is because he's Dami reversing, not because Rocks are just this much stronger than them. Like, that's the point. They're basically fighting Rocks if Rocks was double as strong. So, that's what to me. That's what
I disagree.
Hold on. So have we seen Roger or Garp during this flashback be able to clash without touching?
Not yet. No.
Okay. So did we see Roger and Whitebeard clash without touching on God Valley?
No.
Okay, but we saw Rocks do it on Marijoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's already a difference in Haki proficiency. Is it not?
Proficiency, sure. That doesn't mean you're stronger than somebody. That doesn't mean you can. That doesn't mean you can knock Garp and Roger back at the same time.
Seb, may I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay, Larry, I'm coming in for an assist. All right. So we're going off of Mihawk's title. He's going off the title World's Strongest Swordsman, but he's obviously not yoked. It's probably because he's really skilled with a sword. Now, if he has such great skill with the sword, and you could be able to take away any like his main weapon and give him any blade, and he could still perform damn near the same, that is because he is that skilled with a blade. Now, Mihawk is no dummy. If you give him a gun instead of a sword, would you expect him to get the same results?
No.
That is because he does not have the same skill set as he does with a sword. So by that point, he's still incredibly strong, and should still have the same like skill sets and things that he could be able to do with Yoru, and he could be able to technically do it like with a gun, maybe. But
that's a fine analogy, but the analogy is flawed. What Emu gave Rocks is an ancient weapon, nearly. It's not a gun. You get what I'm saying? This isn't, I'm removing you from Yoru and giving you a gun. It's I'm removing you from Yoru and giving you an ancient weapon now. That's a close. It might be too much hyperbole, but that's a closer analogy. Now, what's more dangerous? Emu with an ancient weapon, I mean, Mihawk with an ancient weapon or Mihawk with Yoru. There's an argument to be made either way. I'm just saying. We're much closer to island shattering destruction than, oh, I gave you a different tool to use as a weapon and now you have to use that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
just you get what I mean?
Yes, I feel like an ancient weapon is too strong, but a one-man Buster Call, I will definitely give you that. I can for sure totally see that. A one-man Buster Call in like several Buster Calls even. I would equate Dami Reversi Rocks to maybe the wrath of maybe like 10 Buster Calls. Like maybe. I don't know if that's ancient weapon, but you know, for the average island, it would probably be overkill. But on the most part, or whatever, there are probably some islands out in the world or whatever where 10 Buster Calls may not be enough to completely level an island. It'll get rid of most of it, a majority of it, but maybe not the entirety of it. I'm in the belief that even if Rox wasn't Dami Reversi'd, he like with the skills that he has at like his repertoire, then maybe he won't be able to push Garp and Roger back as far for as long, as hard as he is right now. But he will have the capabilities of being able to do things that we are not seeing right now within Domi Reversi Rocks. Because, like Larry was saying, we haven't seen Domi Reversi Rocks do a Conqueror's Coding attack yet. Yet we've seen that Rocks is famous for doing those. Why is that? It's not his kit, essentially, that he's using. Or he's using, like, only part of his kit. And so because he's not using his kit the way, the way he uses it, it's not giving us as the readers or whatever the same results that we would normally see. And so yeah, he's strong, being able to do things like blow back Garp and Roger and all that with the Dami Reversi form, because he just has that much force behind it, but he's not doing things like warping space casually on every other swing. I would say that would probably pose just as much a threat as the Domi Reversi.
Which ability would you rather have? Which strength? Which would you rather be capable of?
I would take Rox's warping space casually every day of the week.
Every day.
Okay.
Also,
Every day.
let me point out something too, because this is a difference between Haki as well, right? Because people are mentioning like the Garp and Roger clash, where it's not definitive that they weren't touching or they were touching, right? It's not definitive either way. The same way it was definitive that Rox and Harold were clashing without touching and caused this 3-mile radius of nothing able to be around them on Mari Joa. So if we go to chapter literally 1026, we see when Luffy finally masters Rio and Conqueror's Haki mixed together and uses the advanced form of Conqueror's Haki to clash with Kaido, and they're both not touching, they split the sky, but the sky doesn't just split, it blows apart, which causes the moon to come out, and Inuyasha and Nekomamushi turn into their monster forms, right, to fight Jack. So there's already a level that we're seeing with Conqueror's Haki and the levels of it to where you can just split the sky like Rox and Roger and Garp did. Let's just owe it to them, right? Or when you're using the advanced forms that this person does have that they're not using, where that form completely splits the sky, then obliterates it. So if Rox was using his utmost Haki, which we know he has because he did it against Harold, and we've seen Luffy and Kaido do this, and it split the sky apart, and we've seen Whitebeard and Roger split the sky apart when they did this. Why didn't it happen for Rox, Roger, and Garp?
I don't know. You argued that it did, though.
No. I'm arguing that it split the sky, but it didn't blow it apart.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Right, because
I don't have a clear answer for that.
because Rox was only using Conqueror's Haki. He wasn't actually using the advanced form of Conqueror's Haki that he did against Harold. Therefore, the sky wouldn't just blow apart, right? Because the two people that were colliding with him didn't use the advanced form either. Therefore, the sky couldn't blow apart. But if Rox used his advanced form because he had control, he would have blew them away. Therefore, no sky splitting. You just got blown apart. I'm literally going into like certain moments in the show where people are doing this. Listen, if you don't want to listen to evidence, that's cool. I'm just telling you what's actually happening. If your belief is that Rox is just not that strong, I get it, bro. You don't want to believe he's that strong, but I'm not just saying things. I'm literally giving you aspects of the show and saying, look, on many occasions, this has happened with specific Hakis. And he's not using those Hakis. So and we know he has them and he's done them. So why isn't he doing them now?
But what he's doing now is more impressive to me. Like, it just is. Like, I'm sorry, it is.
So how is that more impressive? How is that more impressive?
At that point, it's subjective and rage bait. This is rage bait. This is
if space against a random fodder ship and clashing with Harold, and
if we were
that's
watching,
more impressive. Those moments were more impressive to y'all than him casually bodying Roger and Garp. Casually sending Whitebeard back and destroying half of God Valley. Casually one-shotting Big Mom and Kaido. Those things that he did before this were more impressive to y'all.
Didn't he do that anyhow before we got to this point anyway?
No, he didn't.
But this all happens off panel though, because we've seen it. Rox established dominance somehow, clearly.
Bro, he was winning Davy back fights. Listen,
and
man.
They saw how strong he was because he does things like casually warp space.
I'm trying to say Rox isn't strong. I'm not even saying he wasn't the strongest of this era, but to think he could casually defeat all these people without issue, the way he was casually doing so with the Dami Reversi buff, I haven't gotten that. Maybe I'm tripping. I didn't get that when I read these chapters. I didn't get that.
If the mindset was that Harold just
we gotta get to some other callers, man. I ain't gonna lie.
do. All right.
But
thanks for having me on. Love y'all. Thanks for everything y'all do. Looking forward to the DDT.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
No problem. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, you too, bro.
All right. Toby, what's up, bro?
What's up? Oh, he's out of here?
Yeah.
Okay, it's delayed on my stream. Dang. Well.
You good. That was a long one. What? I mean, we just don't gotta see eye to eye on that one, bro. We just don't have to.
Yeah. That was bad. Using Domi Reversi as a Vox base upscale is disgusting. I'm just being honest, bro.
Yo, y'all don't want to use panels and use the instances of when Haki is used and the way it's used and what people have and not using. That's up to y'all. Like I don't know how to literally tell y'all enough how something has happened and then y'all choose to not believe it. Like, I'm using evidence. There's nothing I'm saying that's made up. If you want to believe Rox is stronger through DR, bro, like, go ahead. But everything that's just been shown, that shows that's not true. That's just not true. Physical stats are cool in One Piece. You can have them. But the show runs on Haki. Those are the people that strive to the top. So it doesn't matter how big you are. Doesn't matter how strong you are. If you have better Haki than me, you're gonna beat me.
It definitely matters.
Okay, bro. Okay. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Harold mattered, right? Harold has Conqueror's Haki. Harold has Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Harold has the size. Harold has the strength. All that. Yet he couldn't beat Rox. A smaller man by large.
The issue I'm having is that the raw Haki strength was also shown to me to be superior.
There's
in
no
Dami Reversi.
superiority when the advanced forms are not being used, dog.
Bro,
The advanced forms are not being used. I literally see it said, yo, the sky split when Rox did it, right? When he clashed with Whitebeard, with Roger and Garp. Yet, they didn't blow apart.
Hey man, we watched Kaido flex his physical capabilities for full arc. So I'm not gonna sit here and let you say they don't matter.
Okay. Listen, bro, y'all believe what y'all want. But it's wrong. It's clearly wrong.
I'm
Clearly.
gonna keep believing. Yes.
I guess
It
Kaido
really
don't
is
agree,
just
bro.
hate at this point. Like y'all
It's
really
not
just
hate,
like
bro. It's not hate.
one, you're not
It's not hate.
accepting evidence that's proving facts. You're just literally going, nah, I don't want to believe that because I don't believe Rox is stronger than that. Therefore, I don't care what you're bringing up.
I
You
don't think
talking to
that's
me?
the approach I've taken.
That is
I
the
don't think
point
that's
you've
the approach
taken.
I've taken at all.
I've literally
Oh,
proved that if you can't use hockey efficiently because you're not doing it a certain way that other characters say you're supposed to use it, then automatically you're just going, hey, I'm going to dismiss that fact and believe what I want.
all right.
We gotta be better.
Hey, man. Believe what you want. I believe what I want, man. I just know what I'm believing is steeped in some real stuff, bro. I ain't
Toby's
gonna
not
lie.
allowed to come back. I'm not trying to
You
deal with
kicked
that.
Toby? You
Yeah.
Toby out.
Toby, bro, you can't come back, bro. I'm not dealing with it, bro.
Yo, leave
Oh,
Toby alone, man. He earned the right to you can't.
bro, I know why, bro. I can keep going.
Listen. Oh my god. Terrible. Alright. Toby, we love you, bro. We gotta get to some super chats and some more calls, but alright. We got another 10 from Lil DJ. It says, did Rox actually tell his crew which two Devil Fruits he wanted and their purposes? If so, why did his crew later on seem to not care that someone has taken them, i.e. Luffy and Blackbeard? I'm just of the belief he didn't really tell them which two Devil Fruits they were. The only thing that he seemingly told them was that at least one of them was on Elbaf. And seemingly Harold had eaten it, or would eat it, or eventually ate it. And Big Mom targeted Elbaf, so it's possible that he told her, and she planned on trying to get that fruit at some point. Kaido kind of seemed to want to do his own thing, and Whitebeard just never, ever cared about any of that, seemingly. Beyond that, a lot of them also just already have devil fruits, and I don't think most people think they have a means to eat more than one. So it's like Shiki already had a fruit. Silver Axe seemingly already had a fruit. People theorize he had Rogi's fruit, etc. So yeah, like if you don't have a grand scheme the way Rox exactly had it, targeting those fruits doesn't really help you unless you have like loyal enough subordinates that'll do whatever you say once you get the fruits. So
Yeah.
another 5 from Regal Sloth. So Larry, if you think Dami Reversi made Rox weaker, then are you saying he would handle Roger and Garp in base? Because I just cannot believe that. That's similar to my thought process, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think we just got two different perspectives on how strong Rox was at that time. Which, that's cool. Another 5 from Will of J. I do think Dami Rock's Haki is stronger. Rayleigh said the only way to make Conqueror's Haki stronger is if the users grow stronger. Dami Reversi buffs strength. He said the only way to make your Conqueror's Haki stronger in general, is to you go through extreme battle. So, yeah. All right, another 5 from Huge Erections. The true One Piece is the calcium containers we see along the way. Also, do you think Do you think Garp and Roger are related? I don't. I mean, they're D-Clan members, so I guess they're technically related, but I don't think they're related through any other means. Another 10 from Blind Shepherd. Everything we've seen from Dami Reversi indicates that it gives a significant power boost. Dami Reversi rocks losing Haki proficiency doesn't make him weaker. Power sometimes trumps skill.
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't. Not in One Piece.
Can.
Not in One Piece. That's not true, bro.
Depends. Depends on the scale. Depends on the scope. Depends on the characters. Typically. All right. Like, by this logic, I don't want to invoke Mihawk. I don't want to do that. Oh, man. But having more skill doesn't mean you're stronger than somebody else. Right? Like, Katakuri doesn't beat every non-future sight user. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's more skilled than them. There's people who just have overwhelming strength that will body him. You know? Like, they don't need to use Future Sight to land an attack on him if they're that much stronger, that much faster than he is. No? Another 2 for Antonio Freeman. One thing, Larry, why did Rox not use Advanced Conqueror's Haki on Emu?
He did. And it didn't do anything to Emu.
All right. Let's get another caller in here. I know Nerd said he came back, so let's get Nerd in here. Nerd! You there?
I am here.
All right, man. What's up?
You know, just chilling, sitting in
Make sure you
this
mute us in the background, man.
mute in the background.
Mute the stream.
It's I thought I was on pause. We good now?
I hope so.
I just exited out of it, so I think we should be good.
All right, what's up? What's your question or theory?
Yes. So I got a theory, but I just wanted to bring something up because I should get double the time today, but I don't want to keep you guys till 2:30 in the morning. So I don't know if you guys remember back to Whole Cake Island, but when Nami was using a transponder snail talking to Sanji, they showed an arrow going from her panel to his panel, piercing him. Now, fast forward to Elbaf, Gunko attacking. Everybody's getting hit by arrows, but she's able to grab one and pull it. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Not really.
I'd have to go see the panels itself. I don't remember.
Okay, awesome. Then forget about that. But the SBS this week I thought was super interesting. Well, I thought the year was super interesting because he mentioned the Age of Heavens being the year 4141.
Yeah.
And so that being the current year, if you look in the lunar zodiac, the Chinese zodiac, it's actually 4141 will be the year of the metal rooster. The metal rooster actually heralds the sun. It brings yin and yang together, and the element when it's the element being metal, it's able to have other elements to it. So it can be like it's the only time it can be like the metal, earth, fire, like multiple elements to it. Now what's interesting about it is so it's a 12-year cycle, right? So 12 years prior to that is obviously you're not going to know what I'm gonna say, but Shanks gets his arm cut off, and by divine law, by the TOPT Danan, which I'm gonna get into, if you're king and you get blemished in war, which by blemished I mean lose a body part, hurt, you have to pass on your crown. And that is when Luffy obviously gets, the fruit when Shanks loses his arm. Now, another 12 years before that, so 24 years, which would be 2 cycles of the rooster, which wakes up the world at dawn, is Roger's execution. So those are the past 2 cycles of the year of the rooster would be passed. So like all 3 of those are, sun god esque characters' wills that are being passed on. So I found that really strange, but I liked it. But to go to my theory now, sorry, I was talking in the chat, so I put it down for a second, because I wrote it out. Okay, all right, so this is the right one. All right, so the TOPT Danu are people of the goddess Danu, a divine race that is said to have descended from the skies, wrapped in veils of silver mist. They arrived not as conquerors, but as bringers of wisdom. They came with 4 different gifts. Those being, sorry, I just got to turn the page.
Bro, I have no idea what's going on. So, what are you trying to say, nerd?
What am I trying to say about?
Yeah, I just don't know what
2
you're saying right now. Are you
He's reading his theory now.
Oh, you're saying
Yeah.
what's the theory about?
Okay. My theory's about the sun god, Lu of the Long Arm, and the TOPT Danan's 4 gifts that they brought, and how it relates to the One Piece and what I believe is going to be the 4th opponent, like how Luffy is going to be able to read the 4th poneglyph, and but you'll see why I feel
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
All right, so the TOPT Danan, the people of the goddess Danu, a divine race said to have descended from the skies, arrived as bringers of wisdom, not of conquerors. They came bearing 4 gifts, right? The first one is the Spear of Lu, a weapon that ensures victory in battle, symbolizing authority and power and the rightful kingship. Also resembles the sun and having the aura of sunshine. Now, we see Nika obviously depicted with a spear. The second is the Sword of Nuada, an unstoppable weapon that guarantees victory in battle, reflecting the skill and strategy of its wielder, and when unsheathed, will not lose. The third is the Cauldron of Dagda, a magical vessel that provides endless nourishment, always filled with meat that never empties, and it resembles the sustenance of life. Now, the final one is this Tablet of Destiny, the Stone of Fall, also known as Leah Fall. It's said to emit a loud roar, and it will only show the words on it when the rightful king stands upon it, symbolizing sovereignty and the divine right of the king. And so that I believe that like Luffy is going to use the voice of all things, or is going to have to use the voice of all things to read the last poneglyph. I think it's going to be blank, and it will just like it will only appear to Luffy when he stands in front of it. Like that's why you know, like we haven't heard anything about it. You know, you guys were mentioning like, oh, why don't other people, like why doesn't Emu go after it? Well, maybe he knows that like he can't read the final poneglyph because he's not the rightful, you know, like rightful. I don't want to say king because I hate making this sound like so prophetic, like such a prophecy. But if like Luffy was to use, you know, like if it was to show up to Luffy, uh, it would just be like very prophetic, which I don't like. But I think that's how it's going to be. I think the final poneglyph will be blank.
Okay.
I like that idea as a concept that Luffy will be like the voice of all things will be required to read the last poneglyph. Are you saying the last poneglyph to get to Raftel, or the like there will be a final poneglyph on Raftel that like you'll need the voice of all things to read?
I've on Left Tail, and that's why I think that like part of the reason why Roger like laughed, because they're like, oh, like, you know, like he wasn't, you know, like the chosen, you know.
Okay. I kind of like that. It would explain why like Emu's never been to the island, or why he doesn't try to get there, seemingly.
Well, I mean, I don't think that Emu can leave the throne room or the castle. Whether he's that sword that's stuck in the ground is like holding his shadow down, or that like he has the scale thing and like just can't be in sunlight. But yeah,
Okay.
but also about that, it's weird. If you look at it, there's only 19 swords, and I think Yoro was stolen from there. I think Mihawk stole Yoro from. I know I told that to you. I know you said you hated that, but it is weird that there you only count 19.
Maybe. All right, nerd. We do got to get to a bunch of callers, and we're running a little long, so I'm gonna drop you there. But I do like the voice of all things connection with the poneglyph. I gotta do more research on those 4 treasures you were speaking of. I kind of just Googled them while you were talking. Yeah.
It's all good. I'll send it to you because I'm.
Oh.
Did you just drag him down?
Nah. I think did he leave?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you didn't boot him, did you?
No, I didn't boot him.
Okay.
No, I don't do that. Right. You do that. I don't do that.
I do be doing that, but I
you definitely be doing it. Listen, guys, everyone's not a public speaker, guys. You got to give people some patience, okay? Be nice in the chat. Don't do that.
Yeah. And you, bro, you know better than that. I
was just in a bad mood. I was in a bad mood. My bad.
You can't let me affect your mood like that, bro. All right. It's been how many years? You still let me affect your mood like this, bro.
It's gonna be till the end of the time. It'll be till the end of time.
You can't do it, bro. You can't.
That's why we're bros.
Another couple of super chats. We got 5 from McDianos. It says activating Haki in battle has to be a conscious effort. If Damiroversi Rocks has no control of his body, his Haki is going to logically be nerfed. So I mean, that's in line with what Larry was speaking to. Yeah. Another 20 from Scattered 392. Put Zoro here. I'm still kind of new, but thanks to TOPT for everything y'all can do. Can someone explain to me what the Larry tax is? You want to take a shot at that one, man?
They just think that I'm a celestial dragon, bro. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it means. And I have some celestial dragon takes. I think it pretty much formed around the fact that I said that celestial dragons might have not been the bad people during the Void Century.
Mhm.
Like there was a solid reason they had to come together in order to take down the ancient kingdom, and I think that's where it started. Because I was trying to give some credit through Attack on Titan, where the Marley and the Eldians were both bad, and that's where it came from, I think. So that was a long time ago, though. That was like 50
Yeah. I
episodes,
mean,
maybe.
it's also in your actions, bro. You banned Hawkeye this week for sending you a picture, and you muted Toby just for disagreeing with you, man. You know what I'm
What
saying? Like
Toby got to do with this, bro?
you censoring people, man. You know what I'm saying? You acting like
He never existed, bro.
it.
Toby never existed. We
Toby
love
never
Toby,
existed.
though.
We got another 10 from Rel Gotti. It says, okay, new to the Discord, but Luffy's Devil Fruit is impossible to be Elbaf. If they got it through the portal, there's no way they would have lost it for who's who to get it. Shaki is Boa's mother, and a lot of thought processes there. Yeah, I don't know where you're going with that one, man. I don't know. They say you canceling Christmas on me because yeah, stupid.
They said there
All
was
right, let's
never
go.
a time before the Larry tax.
I remember the days before the Larry tax, man. Everybody lived freely. Love was through the air, you know. Everybody was happy, and then the Fire Nation attacked. You know what I'm saying? Free Toby. All right, we got to get some more warlords and Yonkos in here because they paying. All right, so let's get up one, Chris. Chris, you there?
Yes. Let's go a little later, please.
That's cool. Stick around.
Gotcha.
All right, next Yonko. Let's get Zoro in here. PKT Zoro, you there?
Yeah.
How's it going, man?
What up, man? Was just in the den, just talking to everybody. What's up with y'all?
What's up,
Chilling, bro.
man?
Chilling.
Thank you for coming through.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna start off by saying, thank y'all for giving everybody a chance to talk and be heard. Don't nobody ever get on here and say that, you know. Don't
Oh,
nobody
thanks.
do this consistently like y'all either, and I mean other YouTubers. So I'm gonna say that. The
Appreciate it.
second thing I'm gonna go ahead and say is Larry. Last time we talked, the very first time we talked, it was about Blackbeard, and I kind of came around. I be glazing Blackbeard, but I agree he should prove himself. To have these abilities, conquerors, observation. The things you were talking about. So that's second. What I want to say. Third, I want to ask y'all. Well, I want to ask Seb. I'm gonna ask Seb.
What's up?
Are we still waiting to see if Garland put the scar on Whitebeard or Roger, or y'all already? Because I don't follow every single episode. Like I just check in when I can. Like so, and I mean y'all episodes like when y'all talk every other week.
Step can't
Listen,
answer that.
yeah, we still waiting. All right, it ain't gonna be God Valley, which is cool. From the jump, I said it could be God Valley. It could be another time, but we still waiting. It's not looking good though. I'm not gonna act like the stocks are high. It's not looking good. But sometimes you right, you just early, and maybe that's where we at. Maybe I'm just wrong. I'm fine being wrong. I'm still waiting.
And
He's
it's messed up. I wanted you to be right because it was like everybody was against you with that too. But I'm like, bruh, I don't know. Like we kind of get to the end of God Valley. I don't know.
It's all right, bro. Sometimes you gotta wait on things, man. I tried to
I
rush
got
it. I tried to rush the shot. You know what I'm saying? It can happen later though. Happen
I
later.
got some for Larry though because Larry like he bored.
what's
The
up?
you was a big component on like I don't know if you was like trolling, bruh, but like you was saying like Mihawk might not have conquerors. And I'm Zoro, so it's like why wouldn't Mihawk have conquerors, bro? You gotta be trolling if Zoro has it. Like, and I mean to fight with. You already know what we mean, so that's for Larry.
So, the thought process came from Garp. So before Garp was confirmed to conquer as Haki user, I was saying, would it be possible for like a very proficient armament Haki user to compete with a Conqueror's Haki user like Zoro by the end of it? And I was just basing it off that because Sanji right now, right, versus Dan Chinzhao. I would think that Sanji would be the one to win, even though Dan Chinzhao has Conqueror's Haki, because Dan Chinzhao, one, is really old and can't utilize it the way he would when he was younger. And two, Sanji is in his prime, almost in his prime, I would say. But he's able to use armament Haki a little bit stronger to the point where he could make up for the Conqueror's Haki that's not being used. Such as like when Luffy used a Conqueror's Haki attack against Kizaru and he blocked it, right? Kizaru doesn't have confirmed Conqueror's Haki, but his armament Haki was just so extreme that it could compete with Luffy's Conqueror's Haki. So I brought up that aspect of it because I think it would be possible based on like we know that like Mihawk basically retired from fighting people once he became a Shichibukai. And even then, I think the last of his fights stopped with Shanks based on when the world's strongest title was given for swordsman to him. So it's like if he's not constantly out there fighting the very best in the world, then there's no way for his Haki to get even stronger. So whenever he just stopped fighting, that's where his Haki was. And we know that Shanks only got stronger since then, and he didn't beat Shanks. They drew. So for me, it's like, oh, well,
What boy cook it?
maybe,
What boy cook it? This boy
yeah, like
cooking.
it's just like I go by evidence, through like what's being
Wait,
done
so
and
so
how everything
so can I
is.
ask you? Can I ask you something else then, real quick, Larry? Like,
Yeah.
are you saying like Mihawk don't even need it to fight Zoro? Is what you're saying, or am I got you wrong?
Um.
That was
That,
before, right? I don't know if that's the case now, or at least the thought process.
yeah.
No, Sam. What I'm saying is Zoro has it. So does Mihawk have it, or is Larry said Mihawk doesn't even need it? Like, because he just said Kizaru when like Luffy attacked him. And I kind of agree. Luffy he had conquerors in that attack, right? When he went in and
Yeah.
Kizaru stopped him. That's what you're talking about, right?
See, the thing is, I don't know. It basically depends on where the story is gonna go, because I think Luffy definitely needs it, but will Zoro need to be at Luffy's level? And
No,
that's
I only
really
I
the
only say that,
question.
Larry. I don't mean to cut you off, bro. I only say that because Shanks, like Mihawk, has direct contact with Zoro and Shanks in some fashion, but Shanks clearly has it and can use it like on a different level.
Hmm.
So if you believe that Mihawk just doesn't have it, then I agree with you. That just puts him up there, like as far as like strength, just strength wise, and I guess what future sight or something, and regular old armament, just stronger than what you were saying, right? Like it's just a stronger will or somewhere.
Hmm. See, the thing is, I don't think even when Shanks and Mihawk were fighting, I do think that Shanks was considerably stronger than he is right now. And I don't think when they were fighting, it was 12 plus years ago, bro. Like this is way, way back in Shanks's career. I don't I don't think that Shanks's Conqueror's Haki was so extreme that whatever Mihawk's armament Haki might have been wasn't enough to like compete with Shanks. Whereas like right now, Shanks's Conqueror's Haki is so extreme that even with Mihawk's extreme armament Haki, he wouldn't be able to compete with him because we've seen through like the show that once you get to a certain point with Conqueror's Haki, your ceiling is so much higher and you're able to do so much more, especially since you'll add armament Haki into it, that somebody with just armament Haki is not going to be able to compete with that person, you know, even if it's like top tier. So it really depends. Like, I do believe he should have
But
Conqueror's
you know the
Haki,
reason I say is because
but
people are just born with it from birth, like Big Mom and like Luffy, like you're just born with it sometimes. So I just mean, does he have it? That's what I was getting at. Not even if he can use it, like how or if they were using it when they were dueling. I'm just saying, like, if Miyok didn't have it, then I'm agreeing with you as well on both. Like, he should be up there, right?
it could be either or. It really could. It really could. I wouldn't be mad at either or. Again, Shanks, I mean, Mihawk is the same person that stated, you know, finding the One Piece is a more perilous path than my own. Like, those are words straight out of his mouth. So if
Yeah.
that is so, then I assumed whoever's going after the One Piece is going to have more adversity thrown their way. Therefore, their Haki is going to be able to blossom way more than the path it is to face Mihawk.
Yeah.
But that's just me. So
Hey, Sid,
Hmm.
can I ask one more thing? Just one more thing, bro, and I'll be
Make it
done.
quick.
I sent in a super chat too, bro. So I hope you get. It's not gonna say PKT Zoro. It's gonna say like scattered 392 or something. But this with both of y'all. It's I don't know. It's not confirmed. Oda never said it was confirmed, but it said like which straw hat would get like a devil fruit or something like that if they were the ones that didn't have them. Not
Mm-hmm.
confirmed, but which if you guys had to like out of like because the ones that don't have them is Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Jinbei, Sanji. What?
Mm-hmm.
So if Oda had to give them a devil fruit, which one would you?
Like, what devil fruit would you give the straw hats that don't have devil fruits?
Yeah.
We got this before, I think, on the stream, like on the Monday streams. I'm trying to remember what we went with. I think we said a Nell's fruit for Nami, right? If I remember correctly, just because I might have went with like weather as a whole. Like there's like a weather goddess fruit or something, storm kind of a thing. Or Big Mom's fruit, I think works for Nami as well, considering she already has Zeus, and she tends to, I don't want to say make slaves out of homies, but I feel like that could work for her.
Do
Usopp,
you like? Yeah, I was just about to say that. Where they were talking about the dog, the zone fruit or something for Kabuto or something like that for a slingshot or what you? I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Go ahead. My bad.
no, you good. I was thinking some sort of sniper fruit would be cool. Like
What
I've
about
always
Kuma's
wanted
fruit? What
Usopp
about
to
Kuma's
be
fruit?
more Kuma's fruit for Usopp.
I mean, I don't know.
That's a little too. I would prefer that the fruits that they eat aren't too powerful. I know I said Nels and Big Moms for Nami, but I I'd still prefer them to still be in the more gaggish or just like base utility
I
than
don't, bro.
fall
What is?
from
I don't.
Hokage.
I just. You know what? Because I if you say sniper fruit, I understand. 'Cause that's something like that sound real fire. I ain't gonna lie. I just see him as like jumping from giant to giant shoulder. So maybe that's just me, like in sniping. Like I don't know. Maybe that's some. I don't know. But that's all I had though, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
All right, man.
thanks, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. We did get another couple super chats. We got 2 from Real Gotti. I was saying I believe Shaki is Bo's mom. Okay, that was the end of that thought process. But you said "and" at the end, so I didn't know what the end was for. All right. We got a least favorite character in the series question. $5 from Dizzy BBL says, "Do you think Luffy being from Dawn Island has deeper meaning? Who will be a confirmed descendant of the Great Kingdom?" Least favorite character in the series for a long time, it was Spandam. Orochi kind of jumped up there for a little bit too. Least favorite. Yeah, I hated Pell for so long, bro, just because of the just being alive. I know it's petty. I hated Sabo too for being alive. So I know I'm a weird guy with that kind of stuff. So one of those guys, Pell, Sabo. or Spandam. Larry?
I would say Usopp, least favorite character in the series. Being from Dawn
So
Island, yeah. And who will be confirmed descendants of the Great Kingdom? Probably the Davies.
Davies, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably other D clan members too, like the Davies and the D's. Maybe some other race like Buccaneers too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, all right, that's all soup. So let's get to another Yonko tier member. I do know what else is in here. Let's get No Poppy in here. No, are you there?
Yellow.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up? All right, so I'm gonna make it quick for y'all. So I got a theory for y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. I got your stream hold on.
Make sure you name your theory for Larry so we can put it on the thing.
I'm gonna tell y'all who I think stole Harold's family treasure.
Okay.
And Larry, you said Usopp was the most character you don't like, or least favorite character?
Yeah.
Most hated? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Okay. Oh, can I share my screen with y'all? I made a presentation.
I don't know if we can trust you, bro.
Please, I swear. I'm a Yonko.
What do you think, Larry? I don't know.
I'm a Yonko. What?
Is it possible for you to do it? Does it give you the option?
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
All right, do it.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, we trusting you, bro.
Sebastian, you can see it?
I ain't got no I mean, I see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's good to go?
You good?
Yeah.
You good? I bet. So I believe Roxy's back stole Harold's family treasure. So the legendary / forbidden fruit on Elbaf. And he's gonna eat it and become my shit. No. It was lagging. No, bro. No. Come on, man.
Yo, what you want, bro?
He's gonna eat it and become a false awake his own, like the jailer beast and impel down.
Okay.
Slide looks like Luffy's hair. And remember these guys?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So back in chapter 1152, when so chapter 1152, we see somebody stealing Harold's treasure. This person says this is the treasure of Elbaf, the forbidden devil fruit. So this person knows the location, and it sounds like he knows what the fruit is capable of, because he calls it forbidden and not legendary like everybody else. All right, now Rox. So Rox said he needs 2 fruits, and one of them is located in Elbaf, and he said only Harold can unlock its true power. So Rox, just like the thief, knows his location, and it sounds like he knows the fruit's actual power, just like the thief, right? All right, so in chapter 1157, there's a narrator box above Rock saying, "What is treasure if not something that could be stolen?" Meaning that if something's called treasure, it's bound to be stolen. Proven by Roger, next chapter, he says, pillaging is a pirate's true calling and won't stop till they get what they taken, what they want. All right, so before Ross goes to God Valley, he meets Harold. He asks him for help, but Harold declines him and chooses the world government side instead, letting Rox down. Right? So remember, he said he needs 2 fruits to be emo. So Harold think he could win this fight. There's no way. So he asked Harold for help, and Harold declined him. All right. So I believe that Rox goes back to Elbaf to steal Harold's treasure, while Loki is waiting for him to return. See, right? So right here it says he's waiting for him. Rox isn't coming back. That's what Ida says. Then this is the mini flashback in chapter 1145 before the actual flashback starts. I believe this is Loki's last memories of Rox. So I believe he stabs Loki in the bar. This scene is different from this scene because this scene, Rox hurts Loki knowing that Harold cares for his son, for Harold could come back to Elbaf. But in this scene, Rox is clearly frustrated, telling Whitebeard to shut up because Whitebeard's telling him that he went too far for stabbing Loki and leaving the blade inside. Because why would Rox hurt his best friend's son if he wants him to join his crew and he always got to be at the bar? He does this because he knows Harold's not coming back, knowing because he thinks he defeats him on a ship earlier. Because Harold fakes his like being defeated, so that's why he goes to Elbaf to steal his treasure. I say this because in the Kaido and Luffy fight, Kaido asks Luffy when Kaido kills Luffy and he awakens, he asks him, "Who are you? Are you still Straw Hat?" As if he had seen something similar like this before, most likely with rocks. Also, Saturn said that, let me read it. There's a danger that such unwanted destruction might bring a birth of something entirely new. So I believe, okay, hold up. So I believe this is foreshadowing. Remember in Little Garden, the god that Doi Brogy speak of. I don't know if you hear me. Be quiet.
No, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, you remember that god?
Yeah.
I believe this is the god that's gonna awaken on God Valley, and the god that Loki, the fruit that Doi Brogy was talking about, and also in the beginning of Elbaf, they said it was a god of liberation, laughter, and destruction. Luffy is a liberator and a laughter, so maybe the destroyer god laughed as well. Loki laughed. So, all right. So I believe that Harold eats the forbidden. So I believe Harold. So after Rocks eats the fruit, it becomes a false awakens on, and Harold has a comeback. Oh no, I tell you this part. I don't got it written down. Okay, so remember this. So Rocks and Harold were fighting in this chapter, and it said until they meet into that fateful incident. Remember that? They didn't meet yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. Okay, let's go back. All right, so I believe Harold ripped his horns off for the fruit back for the world government. And I believe Harold eats the fruit in this chapter and becomes the same beast Rocks did. And Loki had to kill his father to awaken the fruit. So see, there's 3 claw marks. So I believe the claw marks was Harold. That was Harold when he ate the fruit. That's right. See that?
Yeah.
Right, so I believe Loki had to kill his father, awaken the fruit. So if you compare this to Luffy, or mirror with Luffy had to prove to his fruit and sacrifice himself to awaken his true power. While Loki had to sacrifice the current user to prove to his fruit to awaken its true power. And I guess that's it, right? Anything else to say? What y'all think? I'll try to make it quick for y'all too.
So I actually do like the theory because it's so different than anything I've heard before. My question is, so you're saying he steals the fruit and nobody knows about it? Is that what you're saying? Because I'm trying to get the timeline right. Because seemingly
No, they know about it. Because look, that's probably why they're not. In recent chapter, everybody's just leaving, not caring about what happened to Rocks or not. They probably know Rocks is gonna do something crazy. Because remember, Whitebeard clashed with Rocks for 1 second. Are you in your way? And like you didn't see what happened to Whitebeard. Whitebeard's just about to leave casually, not caring about Rocks. And like Cod also remember so beginning the flashback when Kaido tells Rocks, he tells him, "Oh, why can't we just go steal the treasure from Harold and take it? Why not? Cause they're pirates." And Kaido and Rocks checks him and kicks him and tells him, "No, Harold's my friend." So then we go to God Valley. Kaido just takes Big Mom's fruit, and like him and Big Mom are close like that. So why would he do that? Because he probably saw Rocks steal his best friend's fruit. So that's why he reacted like that against Big Mom. That makes sense. Because maybe he checks him. He cares for his captain, he respects his captain. So he will listen to what he says. But if his captain stole the fruit from his best friend, then Kaido's gonna do the same thing to his best friend, which is Big Mom. So that will help. But I believe he steals it right after he fights Harold after this scene. Right here. And Loki said he was waiting for Rocks to lose. In this scene, he comes when he finds out Rocks has returned. Then he stabs him by leaving the blade inside in the bar. And remember, he's not allowed in the castle, only in the bar. So, and only Harold can meet at the bar. So why would he hurt his best friend's son in the bar if they was gonna meet there? He does it because he's not coming back because he thinks he beats him on a ship earlier. That's when I think he steals it right after he beats him. But Harold's faking it, so that's why he goes here not knowing. Because who's gonna stop him if not Harold's not here? Nobody. All right, that's all I got for y'all. I don't want to keep y'all busy.
Well, I appreciate the presentation, man. That was different. I wasn't expecting that, but I like how you laid it all out. Definitely more concise than your theory the last time you was out here, bro. So thank you for locking in.
Yeah, I had nothing. I had no notes for nothing. I was trying to tell you my Blackbeard theory. But this country,
Larry, you have
my Blackbeard theory again.
No, I'm just so happy with the presentation itself, bro. Like that was crazy. I think it's like when you have the ability to present that way, everybody's on board. And I don't know if you were looking at the live chat, but like everybody's like, because they're
Oh
all
yeah.
just enjoying it, and it like a lot of people like it. So this is good, man. This is good.
Oh,
It got
last
people
time,
thinking, bro.
yeah, cool. Yeah, last time I was all over the place. I had so much. I was trying to prove y'all, but when I prove you, I had to say this. That was like, dang, y'all gotta say this. That was like that. I was like, then I started to say something to make it, oh, okay, but y'all was still like, oh, nah. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it followed the same thought process throughout. It was like a through line. It told a story, and the presentation definitely helped you keep pace and track. So if you're gonna come up again, like definitely come through with the presentation again. I'd love to see more. Yo, just know, man, we trust in you when we do that though. All right, don't be having that crazy on that screen, bro.
Man, I don't use this PC for nothing, bro.
All right, just making sure, man.
No,
But
that was
no,
great though. Thank you for the prep,
appreciate
man.
Yeah.
I quote, I hope that they come true. That things will come true. Because Maverick Saturday said something's gonna awaken, birth gonna entirely new. So it might be that. Bye.
Maybe.
Get y'all.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, bro.
All right. We did a couple more super chats. So let's get. We got 10 from Roxy Bikash. If Dragon is the one attacking Mary Joie, what happens to the Revs? Can't imagine them leaving safely, but I also don't see Dragon losing his first major move in the series. Hashtag Larry Tax, hashtag Haki Chukka. I would assume that they're successful in whatever endeavor it is exactly. Just because, similar to what you're saying, like I can't imagine Oda having them move and then like they just take a L. Granted, their first move in the series was something else. As far as like saving Kuma and the stuff that Sabo did and having the other nations rebel. But I don't think we're gonna see a lot of L's from the revolutionaries right now. We'll probably see them start gaining steam and some W's, but what we will also see is the world government start to take them more seriously and more willing to attack them. So, or go after them. But yeah. And then we got another 5 from Real Gotti. It says, I feel like God Valley is a thriller bark because what was Saturn scared of waking up if not the gully lullaby giants trapped in the ice under their feet? I'm not fully following that one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
Gotti.
me either.
Actually, Real Gotti's here, so maybe we can ask him.
Hands tied behind her back.
Ooh, Gotti, you there?
Yeah, bro. What's going on?
What's
All right,
up,
man, you
man?
live. What's up? You just sent a couple super chats, so we want to say thank you, one, first and foremost. And two, I didn't fully understand your last super chat about Saturn and the fear of the ancient giants being frozen. So can you elaborate on that, or you can take your time to explain whatever else you wanted to speak about today?
Okay, well, first off, thank y'all for letting me, you know what I'm saying, let my voice be heard about this. But personally, if we notice how God Valley's going down, the mountains coming down, and then we notice Rock said he needed 2 devil fruits and he needed the Golly Lala Giants, right? They were like, well, even if we were able to get them and they were still alive, they wouldn't listen to you. He was like, that's why I needed Harold. No, he said I needed to find the 2 devil fruits. He never said I need to find the Golly Lala Giants. He never said he didn't know where these giants were at. Okay, we know that they are frozen in ice in Thriller Bark. My theory is when Saturn was like, no, we did not kill rocks and we risked waking that up, Emu immediately possessed Saturn. It wasn't no games, it wasn't no jokes. I feel like Rock stopped by Harold that one last time, not to ask him to join his crew, but to ask him to join that fight, hoping that Haki would be enough to bust them giants out of that ice up under their feet.
So you think the frozen giants were on God Valley?
I'm thinking God Valley is Thriller Bark. Because we don't have the island blowing up weapon because the mother flame isn't made yet, unless it still got charged from the last time that it was used. So unless we bust a call God Valley after we got everybody off of here, did we just change the name of God Valley? Did we move God Valley? What really happened to God Valley at the end of the day?
Well, hopefully we find out next chapter, but a lot of people have theorized that it's going to be a like a mother, not a mother flame. The ancient weapon Uranus was going to like eliminate it. I'm not sure if I subscribe to that just yet. I kind of like it, but who knows? Like it's supposed to be wiped off the face of the earth entirely. So
I'm
Wait,
just
I have a
looking at the way
question.
that. Yes, what's going on, bro?
What is who do you think the Giants are then that's at Punk Hazard?
Wait a minute. I might be got the location mixed up then. I'm talking about the Giants that they found trapped in the ice. So if that was Punk Hazard,
Yes.
then okay, if that's Punk Hazard, then that's what I'm thinking. My bad. That
Oh, okay.
I made a mistake. I made a complete boo-boo mistake.
yeah, there's one frozen ancient giant on Thriller Bark that was Oars, to my understanding, and then there's a bunch of other frozen giants on what's it called?
Punk Hazard.
Oh my god.
And then that even strengthens my feeling that God Valley had to be the island where the Galilala Giants was at, because think about it. They just let a Akainu and this dude just go to this island and just totally wreck and fuck this island up. Then proceed, my bad, mess this island up, and then proceeded to put Caesar up here to do all different other types of crimes we ain't even gonna speak on. So like I just feel like the island wasn't blowed up. I feel like it was reused and repurposed, and the name was changed.
Okay.
Something like the name was erased from history, because you know Emu like to erase shit. I mean stuff. He like to erase stuff. He a number 2 pencil.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna have the same minor pushback that Larry had just then, but yeah, I mean it doesn't really matter if the locations were changed. I mean if the locations were changed, I just for Punk Hazard to be relocated, one, it would have to be relocated all the way from West Blue to the New World, which, I mean, I don't know if they have a way to do that. Maybe they do. And two, that seems a little bit more convoluted than likely, in my opinion. But it's an interesting theory and an interesting thought process, though.
Oh man, this is one thing about me. If you come with facts and it's something that's in that manga and that print, I can't argue with Oda. It ain't my manga, it's his manga. I can't argue with the writer and what he put in his book.
Mm-hmm.
But the last thing before I get out of here, what I want to touch on, and I really want to touch on this because the math just really ain't mathing on this. I am a strong candidate for Shaggy is Boa Mama. I don't know who the daddy is. I'm still torn between Rayleigh and Garland. You know what I'm saying? Mama's baby, Pappy maybe. But young Shaggy just looks too much like Boa. Not only that, yeah, Gloriosa had a bit of that effect, but the way how Shaggy and Boa can just make any man, Marine, and all these men just fall out. Like Boa had this ability before she even ate her devil fruit. So I just feel like, you know, it was kind of like a Rogers with Ace type situation. If they would have known that she was the daughter of the right hand, or if she don't get off of God Valley, if she's the daughter of Garland, you know what I'm saying? Things wasn't spoken and we don't really know, but I'm a firm believer that Shaggy is her mama. They just look too much alike.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any real pushback for it. I don't know what the ages are, but I'm pretty sure she's definitely old enough to be Boa's mom.
She's 8 years after God Valley.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, what are you saying that she's? I'm assuming you're saying that she's Rayleigh's daughter then.
That's if Rayleigh gets off his island, because I learned from Ace, until they are on the boat and off of the island, I don't believe they saved.
I mean,
Ace
okay.
was saved. Ace was saved.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was my last little theory I want to throw out there to y'all. Like, I really feel like either she got away with Rayleigh and they got together and they made the family and they had to do what they had to do for her protection on Amazon Lily, or she didn't get off of God Valley and it was like a genie type situation. She got thrown away once, you know what I'm saying? Garland got bored with her.
Okay. All right. Rel, appreciate the
Yes,
call,
sir.
bro.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, bro.
Y'all
Have a good
have a
night.
blessing. You too.
All right. Next
Yo,
up,
let's
let's
do
get
like
Shadow.
2 more.
I got, bro. We got to get to all of these, man. We got to make them rapid fire, but everybody who's a Yonko or Warlord gets a guaranteed spot, dog. So we got to get to all of them. We can make them rapid fire.
I'm gonna have to go though then, because I have to edit tonight.
All right. We got. Let me see.
I gotta do
2,
social media edits.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we got 6, 7 people. Can we get to 7? Make them real quick.
Gotta be quick, man. About to run on 3 hours.
All right. Shadow, you there? Shadow going once. Shadow going twice. Up one, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, we got to be quick. Rapid fire. Larry got to run. You got a theory or a
Say
question?
that. I really got a take. It's not a crazy take. It's not super long.
What's your take?
I gifted on the stream like maybe 2 days ago, or I mean not 2 days ago, maybe like last week. And I asked Egghead Lucci versus Katakuri. And everybody on the panel said Cat. And I really want to know why.
He's the Conqueror's Haki user. He's the Awakened user. He gave Luffy a extremely tough fight. People kind of look at the Luffy versus Lucci as more of a trolling fight. And in general, I think Cat just has a lot more fans in the community than Lucci does. I'm not mad at that fight going either way. I think I went Cat, but I'm not like a strong believer that he would absolutely win that fight. I think it's a toss up in my opinion. So.
I think Lucci could definitely win.
How is it a toss up?
Toss up?
You don't think Lucci could be Queen?
I do think Lucci could be Queen. I think Lucci could be Sanji. That's why he didn't fight him.
He's talking to me. I don't have Queen that far from Cat personally. I'll be honest with you, but I'm a Queen guy.
I feel that. I'm just saying, Lucci, like, yes, Katakuri got a lot of feats, but Lucci, in what we just seen, he just did a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna lie. He just did a lot of stuff. He just fought 3 people in a row.
All right, Chris, we do got to get to a bunch of different callers. We got to get through 7 of these guys within the next like 10 minutes. So I got to drop you here, but definitely pull up for our next call and stream. All right.
Gotcha. Y'all be safe, man. Have a good day.
All right, you too. All right, let's get Alcazar in here. Alcazar, you there?
Something.
All right, bro. Got to make it quick, like rapid fire.
All right, I'll make it quick. Pleasure to be here. Put me in here fast. All right, so I wanted to share something about Black Blades. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so in the last chapter, there was a panel where Roger clashes with Rocks. If you look close, you can see the 2 blades interacting. There's like a spark there, and it made me develop a theory about Black Blades. And so think there's two ways to make Black Blades. If you look at Mihawk's backstory, in SBS, I think Volume 108, Oda said that Mihawk was faced a great betrayal, and that's what led him to hunt Marines down. So my theory is he hunted those Marines down until he found the person that betrayed him. Like he was just hunting. Like, have you guys seen so and so? They didn't know. He just killed them and just kept looking for people until he found the person he was looking for. He killed that person, and I think Black Blades are formed from either breaking a supreme grade level blade or killing a conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I wanted to share, and I'm curious what you think about that.
I mean, I don't have strong feelings about the Black Blades personally. I'll be honest with you. So, could be. Like, it's never really been a huge like focal point to me in the series. Like, I just think we'll discover that or learn that whenever Zoro's ready for it. So I've never really gravitated to it, or at least my thought process has never been that crazy with it. But
Yeah, there's only two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yoru and Shisui, which and there's been a lot of strong people with swords, which that's kind of what fascinates me about it, because it's like there has to be a condition beyond just having these strong battles. But yeah, and then the last thing I wanted to share is it's just like a quick guess for Loki. No, I'm just gonna.
I said rapid fire one take, man. What we on?
Okay. I was just gonna say the fruit name and leave it there. I wasn't gonna go into like a whole thing. I think he has the dog fruit. Model 4 is God Fenrir, and that's all. Thank you.
No, I didn't even get the name of the person you said. You said Loki.
Loki. Yes, the dog fruit.
Okay.
I think the other God fruits are, but yeah. But all right.
Because I'm sorry for yelling at you, man. My fault.
Bro, yelling at people.
Listen, man, you said you had to go. I'm trying to lock in. All right, let's get Mario in here. Mario, you there?
Hello?
Yo,
Can you
rapid
hear?
fire, Mario, talk to me.
Yo, okay. All right. So I want to ask, do you think Luffy is relying too much on Gear 5 after what Kaido said? Like
Yes.
he said, like Haki like regains supreme all, but now after everything he learned Rio and he was just using Gear 5 and his hacks to fight. Because like I know Gear 5 is strong, but I'm pretty sure like if he can box with Kaido one-on-one with base form using Rio, I don't think he really needs to go Gear 5 against Kizaru like to win, because like we know the drawback on Gear 5 is like very, very harsh, right? Like he literally can't fight for like minutes, and Kizaru have to like fed him to like go back Gear 5. So what's your take on it? I feel like he's relying too much, and it just literally contradicts to what Kaido said about Haki being the strongest power of all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say he is relying too much on Gear 5. We've complained several times on Egghead that Luffy wasn't utilizing Haki to his maximum capacity, and that for whatever reason he was holding back, not using advanced Conqueror's coding and things like that when he was fighting the Seraphim, and then again versus the Gorosei. So it seems to be the same case in Elbaf. Like we're already getting him getting lectured by Gabon to say, hey, like you need to use your Haki. You need to be utilizing Conqueror's Haki in a specific way. So I think this battle will be what gets him to that point where he's like, all right, I need to start using this more. Now, whether he could like dog walk dudes like Kizaru with just Haki, we'll see about that. But in general, like he definitely needs to be utilizing Conqueror's Haki more efficiently instead of just relying on Gear 5. So.
All right.
All right, Mario. I gotta drop you. I gotta get to some other callers before we wrap up tonight.
Yeah,
but
no
have a good one,
problem.
man.
Look at that. Thank you.
All right. Let's get Pulse Man in here. Pulse, you there? Pulse?
Yeah, what's up?
How's it going, man? Rapid fire. We got to wrap up. And mute
All
the
right.
stream in the background, please.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. How's that?
That's good.
All right. All right. Is Larry still here, or he dipped?
No idea.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. This is just for you, Larry. So, question: at what point did you had a different thought process about Garp during this whole God Valley incident? Because I've been following for a couple years, and the hate was real from you. When I heard it, I was like totally shocked, and then just watching everything, and then anyway, so and then a few weeks ago, around the time that I gave my Garp take, between then and then your chapter review, I felt like there was some sort of change. And so my question is, what happened there? What changed your perception and thoughts about Garp in that regard?
It was definitely God Valley. I was convinced that Garp had always known about the celestial dragon hunting competitions and the many other instances that has happened throughout the story where it was just like really evil acts from the world government. I think it changed when I learned that he learned during God Valley that they were doing this for a while and he didn't know anything about it. And then it changed again when he attacked Emu. So I think that's when it changed for me. Now, everything else that happens afterward, it's really tough to say. I don't feel very particularly good about him at all still. I think there is a bit of cowardice behind his actions, even though he's, in a tough position to do anything about it. But I think everything before God Valley, he's okay. But everything after God Valley, there is some questions to be had. But that was really it for me. It's just God Valley that changed it.
All right. Simple answer. Appreciate it. All right.
Yeah,
I'll see you
thank you,
guys later.
man. Thank you for rocking with us too.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Pulse,
Till
have
next
a good night.
You too, man. All right.
Later,
Peace.
Pulse.
All right. Who hasn't gone yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go with 3D2I. 3D, you there?
Hello.
Hey, we can hear you, man. What's going on?
Hey, so I just had one question. I just had like a little content idea I was thinking about. So like during Halloween, like a lot of streamers had like costume competitions. And so I was thinking, what if y'all did like a cosplay competition with like everybody in the Discord? Like maybe like, I don't know, once a year or something, just do like a cosplay competition and maybe have like some prize. I don't know what y'all could do, but yeah, that's just my idea.
Okay.
I like it. Yeah, I'd have to figure out how we would set it up, but I like the idea. I like the thought process behind it.
Yeah, kind of what they did is like they had everybody turn on their camera in the Discord and like show off their cosplay. I mean, obviously it can't be anything like inappropriate, but like, yeah, that's what they would do.
Yeah, we could probably theme it around Halloween or maybe a con or something, but I like that. Pretty cool. We got to notate that for next year, Larry, if we're
Okay, that could
around.
be something that we could do. I just don't know what the
you could
prize
do
would
like,
be.
Yeah, what the prize would be, I don't know.
oh. Yeah, I'm thinking like you could do like one specific anime or like Naruto cosplay event or something. Or just
Yeah,
one
we
piece.
can put a poll out either on the YouTube or on the Discord itself to see if people would be, interested in that. But yeah, I mean, I'd be down. I mean, me and Larry could probably dress up as well. I doubt the twins ever would, but could see.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys.
No, thank you, man.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for the idea.
Have a good night.
See
You
ya.
too. All right, and I think That's all the Yonkos. We did have Hunt who donated on the stream, so Hunt will be the last one. Hunt, you there?
Yes, sir. Hello, hello.
What's up, Hunt?
How's it going, man?
Good, good. How about y'all? I know it's late now.
We're good, man.
Yeah.
We're doing rapid fire, so hit me.
No, yeah. Absolutely. I'll be quick. First off, I do want to say, thank you guys for what you do. Like, you guys are such a big inspiration to me. I started this channel that I have now, just because of you guys, just doing theories and stuff. I hit 1,300 subs of recently, which is just insane to me that like anybody would even want to watch my stuff. But big thanks to you guys for just pushing me out there. But I'll be quick though. So Chopper is an interesting character because he's the only Zoan fruit that has more than 3 transformations. And the reason for that is because of the Rumble Ball. Unfortunately, we don't know what is in the Rumble Ball at all. The only thing that we have is a filler episode in the anime where Chopper created it using Kureha's medicines, but that's not canon, of course. Well, so when Chopper uses it for the first time in Drum Island, he describes it as a drug that messes with the wavelengths of the devil fruit. Well, that's interesting to me because originally he needed the drug in order to access these transformations. However, post time skip, he's able to access all of these transformations other than the big old monster point, of course, without the Rumble Ball. So Chopper is only 17, and on top of that, he hasn't even been sentient for all of his life. Like, let's just be honest for a second. So the fact that he was able to accomplish that in such a short time is interesting to me because Emu and the Korosei more than likely have roughly the same information that Chopper would have. So my small little theory and idea is this right here. What if Emu is similar to Chopper, however, instead of just having like standardized forms and transformations, Emu is able to freely manipulate their form and has complete mastery over these wavelengths. And that's why, like, you know, in the throne room, they just take all kinds of different forms in this like blob. On God Valley, we see them able to grow and just do all kinds of different things like that. So I was just curious about your thoughts on that. But
it's actually pretty dope.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to think. So what would the fruit be? You know what I mean? Because Choppers is the human fruit, and the Rumble Balls allow them to do this. So would it be a drug, or would it be a fruit? Like what would be the specific thing that's allowing him to change?
Well, right. So the idea that I had was I'm not sure if you guys believe that Emu has a devil fruit, but do you guys, is that correct, or do you think it's a different power?
I think it's a fruit, yeah, but it could be
Okay, well,
something
yeah.
else.
So I have a theory on my channel about what I think their power is too, but I won't go too deep into that. But anyways, I think that they have a mythical Zoan. So the wavelengths that I mentioned, perhaps they had taken the drug in the past. I apologize about my stutter as well. Just
No, you're good. I'm
about
sorry
it.
that.
But
I'm chuckling.
no. It's all good. I'm used to it. It's just part of it. But anyway, so but so if Chopper is able to access these wavelengths post time skip without this drug, then if Emu at some point had this drug, the Rumble Ball, then now like they should be able to have the mastery over it as well.
Okay. I'm wondering who would the scientist be that created? Would it be Emu himself, or would it be somebody else?
I mean, we know that they have the godhead of science in the Gorosei.
Right.
I do have a little theory behind that now.
Yeah?
So if Chopper's using substitutes to transform their Hito no Mi with Rumble Balls, would it be possible for like Emu to have a Hito no Mi? We just don't know what it is yet. but they're using books instead.
That's an interesting thought process.
Because when Gunko was summoning, they were using obviously pentagrams, but
Yeah.
it's like a transmutation circle. And if we all watch Full Metal Alchemist, transmutation circles come from books in a way. Like that's how they learn to do it. So, and then Chopper does everything from his books, right? Like the medicine and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it'd be interesting if it was like I hate using the word magic in One Piece, which is so funny because most of it is just magic if we're being real. But it's like
Yeah.
maybe it's something to do with like they can just change form through. Have you ever watched Bleach?
Unfortunately, no. I need to get into it, but
Ah,
I
all right. So
know
there's
a
this
little bit about it.
guy in Bleach, and he's part of Squad Zero, which is like the highest squad of Shinigami within Soul Society that's there. They
Okay,
protect
yeah.
like the Soul Society King. And there's this one guy that works with a paintbrush, and anything in black, he basically controls. And if he was to like write your name on your body, he could just like erase your name, therefore you don't know what your name is. But it's just what I'm trying to say is
Okay.
it's like maybe there's something in like literature that Emu's using that's causing them to have this transformation.
Could be. That kind of reminds me of JoJo's. Have you seen that? I think you have, Larry.
Yeah, I've
I'm
seen
not too
JoJo's.
sure.
I've seen all of it.
But part 4, like a Heaven's Door, Rohan's stand. How he's
Heaven's
able to
Door,
like turn people
Rohan
into books
stand.
and like write where he turns people into books and he's able to write things into them.
Yes, I think I remember that.
That kind of reminds me of that.
JoJo is
So,
such an underrated series. It's crazy.
truth. I cannot wait for part 7 to be animated.
Ugh. Even though I wasn't a big. Oh, I've never seen this guy. Is he in the anime itself?
Yeah. He's in part 4 with Josuke.
Oh yes. Yo, this was crazy. So it's so funny because I looked up his power. Heaven's Door is actually just book transmutation.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, that's got to be a connection. Wow. There you go.
Yeah, so he could turn people into like newspaper like books and read their lives.
Yeah, and then he can write things in. So like he could take a pen and then be like, I can't hurt Brohan Kishibe, and then close the book, and then now they are unable to touch him.
That is interesting.
Sounds like cheating, bro.
Yo,
It
is Emu not
yeah.
cheating?
It's broken power.
Cheating, bro.
Emu's cheating too. You ain't wrong.
That's cheating, bro. That ain't right. You can just write that you can't hurt me, and now you can't hurt me, bro.
Yeah. It's OP.
That ain't fair.
That was
Sad.
good. I like
You
this.
haven't seen
This was a
JoJo's
really
do it.
nice theory, bro.
Yes, thank you. I plan on doing a video about it, but I just need to do more research.
Yeah, please. Congratulations on the channel and pursuing it too,
Yes,
man.
thank you.
Straight up, like the only way to
Yeah,
get
dude.
through it is to go through it. So like just keep going and also if you do put this out, just always put that Chopper's devil fruit is a fungi. It's not actually a fruit. So Emu might
That
have
is
found
true
a
too.
devil fruit that's not actually a fruit either.
That is interesting because like I never put a lot of weight into that, but that is like the only one that is more of like not a fruit.
Yeah, it's
Very
legit not a
interesting.
fruit. It's a fungi. So I wonder if like what Emu found or Emu's using happens to be like something that's not a fruit either. Maybe it's like a vegetable, low key, just to like throw people off.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, who knows, man? I'm so interested in devil fruits because of like the dreams idea and stuff and all the different things about them. It's just wild.
So thank you so
thank you
much,
guys
brother.
so much. Yes, I really enjoyed this opportunity. It's my first time calling in. I super chatted a while back whenever I made my channel, and I mentioned I did a Sanji's Conqueror theory. But yeah, so
I'm not watching it, bro.
I know, and I wish you would, Larry, because I'm not gonna lie. When I was doing the video, I convinced myself. I'm just saying, compare Doflamingo's backstory to Sanji's backstory. Tell me that they're not similar.
I feel you.
Listen, he get it, man. Shout out to Hunt, bro.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Hunt,
Appreciate
man.
y'all.
Thank you, Hunt.
Yes, and thank you guys as well. Keep on doing what you're doing. I love you guys. It's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
thank you, brother. I'll talk to you later.
yeah, man. Adios.
Adios.
Peace.
All right. Seems like that's it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could try to get Shadow back in here. Diamond, I love you, but you know the rules, bro. Sorry, man. Everybody else went.
Yeah, I gotta edit these videos. I can't go another day without putting out a video on social media.
But everybody, I hope y'all had fun. Obviously, we do these so that we can interact with you guys more than we even do on the Monday streams. If you want to be a guaranteed caller, become a warlord and above on our Discord. And you don't have to wait to get donated in on YouTube. Thank you to everybody who did donate on YouTube to get some people in here. We got a bunch of super chats, got a lot of people in here that were able to speak as a result. And I hope you guys like this. Like the streams if you haven't already. We are live tomorrow. Larry, what time you want to start that? I don't know if you have
It'll
one
be
specific
early. It'll
time.
be 5:15 again.
So we're live again tomorrow, 5:15 for the DDT. Tomorrow's matchups are going to be Shiki versus Odin and Ace versus Kid. Yes, I know Kid already went in this DDT, but we did have to push a matchup back a couple weeks just because of a lack of on-panel feats that I thought we'd probably get by now. So tune in for that. Do your research and come prepared to debate for the folks. But yeah, this was fun. Like I said, like the stream if you haven't already. And we got to go. So, night, y'all.